Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, it's time for Below Grade Level. Listener beware, you're in for a scare.
Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the show where we take the books that we read as kids and read them as adults and ruin them. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Eaton. With me as always is Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
And Chris Zaleski.
Hello.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Tired.
I forgot
Cool.
we were doing this.
Like always. Today our special guest is our friend Jamie Noguchi. Hello, Jamie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Real bad, but you know.
Oh no.
No.
Well, see, I can't stop looking at the news. So that's a personal problem.
So you've just been bad.
Yeah.
For like a
I
while.
too am a victim of that particular
Yeah.
form of masochism. That
Well, like-
comment sections.
Yeah. I mean,
Ooh, no.
we live in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So like our local news is international news. It's all the news. So like
Yeah.
since the insurrection bullshit, I just been so pissed about everything. So
That's understandable.
Now you have to be
Yeah.
checking to see what happened.
Yeah, did anything happen like today? This isn't going to air
No.
for like, I don't know, a couple days or
no new shit so far. So
no new shit, just
Just the dread of waiting.
more of the
yeah.
The general
mean-
state of things.
Somehow Ted Cruz and that Halsey guy, Holly guy,
Holly.
Holly.
Halsey.
Halsey, somehow they still have a job, so that's bad. But you know,
Yeah, that's generally bad.
yeah.
That lady who tried to impeach Biden
Oh
already.
right, yeah. Day one. So
day one. Oh God.
Did
Well,
you
yeah.
notice that this says borrow ends at 8:35?
yeah, but it auto renews.
Okay.
I
Just like, wait a second. We might have to speed read.
So that's a great segue from the horrors of our current situation of living in America
And to the horrors of literature.
into our dumb escapist podcast where we read kids books. So
I'm sorry to start off with a bang.
no, it's fine. I feel like literally for a year, our episodes have started with us saying to our guest, "How are you doing?" And they go, "Eh." And we're like, "Yeah."
Well, it started out with
Not right.
good, even though you know it's not true.
Like, I guess that's what
Like,
you're
considering-
supposed to
I think
Yeah.
around like it was probably like June, and then
Yeah.
we just switched to
Yeah, I'd say by summer we were firmly like, a waking nightmare. It's
Pandemic is still going on. It's not going away. You know, just
Yeah.
everything. Everything sucks.
So we have, hopefully this won't suck, but we'll find out. So we've read a bunch of different stuff, and we're doing something slightly new, slightly the same. And by the same, I just mean if you've listened to us read R.L. Stine, then this might be similar. But we're going to read a Christopher Pike book. Now, my question for everybody, and we can start with Bekah. Did you ever read a Christopher Pike book?
I don't think so.
Okay. Chris?
I am not familiar at all.
Jamie?
The former captain of the Enterprise. I was not aware he was an author.
I've heard of Christopher Pike,
Yeah.
but I don't think I read these.
I feel like our previous guest, Christine Schrader, was talking a lot about Christopher Pike.
Yeah.
I know some people have mentioned him and name dropped him, and it was a name that I think I had like completely forgotten about. But then looking at these covers, I definitely read some of these. I didn't read all of them. I know I read more R.L. Stine than Christopher Pike, but he wrote so mostly that same kind of like Fear Street thing where it was young adult. So
I was just going to
horror
ask
for
what
teens.
age range this is. So this is like aged above Goosebumps?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is like typically like racier stuff. I'd say in the same vein as like Sweet Valley
Ooh.
High. Although Sweet Valley High was
Goosebumps
Scandala.
14.
Sweet Valley High got way darker than I
It
expected
did.
it to.
The
Like
SVU, I will continue to go on record. It is the best book we've ever read on
absolutely,
this show. And that's not saying a whole lot.
it's not. but it does make me excited for
But
us to
I'm
get back to Sweet
invested.
Valley at some point.
In the SVU.
So yeah, the other thing about Christopher Pike, as I found out, we're doing all this stuff remotely still, which means that we read like ebooks, which isn't as fun as like passing a little old paperback back and forth. There's like no Christopher Pike books Kindleized before like 2008. So I had to go to a website called Open Library to find this. And it was kind of unstable, so we're going to cross our fingers and roll the dice on this episode. Just see how it goes.
Hey, it might be so bad we decide not to continue.
That'd be a first.
Yeah,
If
would.
it didn't happen with Animorphs, I don't know if it's gonna.
Well, this website's really cute because it's a picture of the cover of the book, and when you click through the pages, it's like a little page turn animation.
And it's like
fancy.
And it's like a literal scan of the book too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
God.
So
it's
yellow.
Jeez.
discolored paper. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet it smells wonderful.
I was just gonna say, like, I can practically smell it. Okay, who wants to describe what's going on in this cover? Oh, by the way,
I know, I've been trying to analyze it,
the name of the book
For
that we're
details.
reading is called Remember Me.
which I already have
From
the song
Coco.
from Coco stuck in my
Yeah.
head.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Remember me.
Oh no.
And then the tagline is, "They killed her, but she came back."
Gasp. Are those fingers see-through?
They do. Yeah.
Oh,
it looks
wait.
like,
No, ghost.
So is that like
it's like a ghost hand.
It's a ghost.
the ghost
Oh,
hand?
maybe she's looking down at her dead body.
I think she's looking at her own dead body.
And so when I first saw this, it thought it looked like she was like fell off a balcony in a mall because it looks like a fancy 80s mall with plants everywhere. But
It
now I
does.
see there's the ocean in the background.
Oh shit.
So I think she's on like a little patio by the beach.
Someone's beach house.
Yeah.
A vacation home or something.
Yeah.
Or it's like in the small town of Oceanside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a table? A glass table, or is just it's a leaf?
It looks like an egg, but
It's
there's
a
like
leaf.
a metal table with a
Yeah,
leaf
I think there's a
over
because
it.
there's chairs. There's
Yeah.
a little
Little
beach
lounge
beach
chair.
lounge chair.
Franz.
fronds.
It honestly like it doesn't look like she fell from that high. I'm already tearing this shit apart.
Well,
Like-
it's very, the perspective of the hand on the top of the building is very strange.
yeah.
It should be bigger. It should be bigger.
I'm
Yeah,
counting 5 windows on the one part and then like 3 windows on the other.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It
It's a
might just be
3-story
a bad
fall.
drawing.
Yeah. What?
I mean, for sure, the perspective is off, but like the execution is very well done. Like
Yeah.
the lighting is on point.
I love these old covers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jonathan, why don't you
Yeah.
tell the listener who our guest is?
we already did
I
that.
did.
Did you? There's
Yeah.
no way I forgot that scene.
You d-
You were thinking about Batman or whatever
were-
the fuck you said.
I probably was.
Spider-Man.
There's extra copy on the cover though. It says from the author of Spellbound and the Final Friends series.
Yeah, I want to
Whatever
know
the
what
fuck
Final
those
Fantasy
are.
series
I was just
is.
Yeah.
thinking that too. I was like, ooh, Final Friends. Maybe we can get our hands on that at some point.
The last friends you'll ever fucking have, you loser bastards.
It's not about death. It's just about sad kids.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into this. What's for Pat?
Aw.
Oh wait, go back one.
Oh, yeah.
So this was written in
Oh, yes.
89.
89.
89.
Okay.
Shit.
That's awesome. How many years? I can't do math.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
31? Wait,
Enough.
32?
No. Wait, oh. I was doing math in the wrong direction. I don't know.
Shit, I was
Negative
Ask me.
5.
I was 3. That's all I can tell you.
89. I was 12.
I think. Oh my god, pancakes. Pancakes wants to read. All right, let's start reading. Remember Me. Now I'm just gonna get that Coco song stuck in my head every single time. All right, chapter 1.
me.
Wish I could make this bigger in some way. Can I? Yes.
Scroll down.
There we go. But then our dumb faces are in the way. There we go. That kind of works. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
And by you guys, I mean my fellow guests, not anyone listening. Go fuck yourselves. It's a podcast.
Wait,
Chapter
they're
one.
reading along. They're reading along with us.
Read
We have to
along.
say ding.
Most people would probably call me a ghost.
All right, good. They didn't bury the lead.
We know the ending of the book already. God damn it.
Shit.
It wasn't like that Fear Street book where we knew she was a ghost the whole time, but they didn't confirm it till like the last 2 pages.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. I love this already. Most people would probably call me a ghost. I am, after all, dead. But I don't
But
think
I'm a
of,
lich.
But I don't think of myself that way. I think of myself as living impaired. It wasn't so long ago that I was alive, you see. I was only 18. I had my whole life in front of me. Now I suppose you could say that I have all of eternity before me. I'm not sure exactly what that means yet. I don't know what religion I was, so all of that's up in the air. I'm told everything's going to be fine. By who?
Who told you? Yeah.
But I have to wonder what I would have done with my life, who I might have been. That's what saddens me the most about dying. I'll never know. My name is Sherry. Shari, in case you were wondering.
Sherry, baby.
They don't go in much for last names over here. I used to be Sherry Cooper.
Where the fuck is she?
Oh, God.
The other
You're not
side.
allowed to have a last name.
She's in the Matrix.
She's in the Beetlejuice waiting room.
Like, fuck your last name. You're
Yeah.
just Sherry now.
You're just Sherry. There's none other. I'd tell you what I look like, but since the living can see right through me now, it would be a waste of time. I'm the color of wind. Oh, it's so poetic. I can dance on moonbeams.
Wind.
I can dance on moonbeams and sometimes cause a star to twinkle.
What did she do to that star to make it twinkle?
I blew a star.
Something about the blue corn moon. It's straight out of Pocahontas.
But when I was alive, I looked all right. Maybe better. Maybe better than all
She
right.
said, all right, Sherry.
Hey,
I looked fucking awesome.
I was a 10, bitch.
I suppose there's no harm in telling what I used to look like. I had dark blonde hair. I was just thinking, big old titties. I had dark blonde hair, which I wore to my shoulders in layered waves. I also had bangs, which my mom said I wore too long because they were always getting in my eyes. My clear green eyes. It sounds like I want to fuck myself.
Yeah, dude definitely wrote this.
An adult man wrote this.
Yeah.
This dead 18-year-old was so hot. My brother always said they were only brown, but they were green. Definitely green. All right, you had an anecdote, Sherry.
He colorblind?
Yeah. I can
Oh
see
shit, she's a dog. Sherry's a dog.
What if that's the reveal?
Sherry,
Like, the last
She's a golden doodle.
Yeah, she's a golden retriever.
She had wavy hair, bangs. I can see them now. I can brush my bangs from my eyes and feel my
I'm guessing immaterial.
Immaterial.
Scrolled. Oh, is it the next page?
Is it the next page? Yes, I'm sorry. I can feel my immaterial hair slide between my invisible fingers.
Okay. I can even laugh at myself and remember the smile that won Best Smile my junior year in high school.
Jesus Christ.
Which is not a
Conceited
thing that
ghost.
happened. Teenage girls are always complaining about how they look, but now that no one is looking at me, I see something else. I should never have complained. Well, obviously you were hot. It is a
Go, girl.
It is a wonderful thing to be alive. I hadn't planned on dying. But that is the story I have to tell. How it happened, why it shouldn't have happened,
Who it
and why it
happened.
was meant to be.
When it happened.
I
What,
won't,
where, and why?
I won't start at the beginning, however.
Oh,
that
God.
would take too long, even for someone like me who isn't getting any older. I'll start near the end, the night of the party.
Jesus Christ.
Spoilers, come on.
The night I
Come on,
died.
Sherry.
I'll start with a dream. It wasn't my dream. My brother Jimmy had it. I was the... Wait, Jimmy, did I say Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
Are you a ghost?
I am a ghost. And I forgot how to read. Shit.
Oh, no.
I was the only one who called him Jimmy. I wonder if I would have called him Jim like everyone else if he would have said I had green eyes like everyone else.
Ugh.
It doesn't matter. I love Jimmy more than the sun.
Okay, stop talking. Okay, stop talking about your brother.
This is
Jerry.
super gross.
It's gonna be weirder, probably. Just things like this always end up weirder.
Jimmy killed her. Calling it.
He was my big brother, 19 going on 20, almost 2 years older than me and 10 times nicer. I used to fight with him all the time, but the funny thing is, he never fought with me. He was an angel, and I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, because she's dead, you
'cause
see.
she's dead.
Ah.
Oh.
It was a warm, humid evening. I remember what day I was born naturally, but I don't recall the
What?
date I died. Not
Wait.
exactly.
You don't remember the day you were born?
Like, I guess you know the date.
I know the date, yeah.
But yeah, you don't remember it. It was a Friday near the end of May. Summer was coming. Graduation and lying in the sand at the beach with my boyfriend were all I had on my mind. Let me make one point clear at the start. I was pretty superficial. No shit.
What?
I thought you did make that clear at the start.
We got it. Not that other people thought so. My friends and teachers all thought I was a sophisticated young lady.
That's not what they thought.
No.
But I say it now, and I've discovered that once you're dead, the only opinion that matters is your own.
She's like, God's.
Yeah. Anyway, Jimmy had this dream, and whenever Jimmy dreamed, he went for a walk. Oh God, that's not good.
In his dream, or?
He was always sleepwalking,
Oh, God.
usually to the bathroom. He had diabetes. He had to take insulin shots, and he
had
peed all the
diabetes
time.
Wait, what was the last part of that?
He had to take insulin shots, and he peed all the time. That's a line in this book.
I really
Wait,
hope
he
this is
slept
like
walk to the
Chekhov's diabetes.
Yeah, he sleep pees everywhere in the house.
I had a
Jesus
I had a
Christ.
roommate in college that slept that slut peed.
Sleep peed?
Yeah,
Was-
Did he
was
give
drunk,
himself
or...
insulin shots too?
He walked into this is before I lived with them, but like the year before I had moved into this dorm, he had walked into one of the other guys' rooms and like peed all over his books.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Oh, books.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
That is horrible.
His name was Tim. I hope he's listening.
I'm sure he is. But he wasn't sickly looking or anything like that. Did I
In fact-
mention I'm superficial?
I know, just gonna say like wait.
In case you forgot.
In
And
fact,
self-absorbed.
Yeah.
I was the one who used to catch all the colds. Jimmy never got sick, ever, despite the diabetes. But boy, did he have to watch what he ate because of the diabetes. Once, when I baked a batch of Christmas cookies, he gave in to temptation, and we spent Christmas Day at the hospital waiting for him to
God.
wake up. Sugar just killed him. You know,
Literally.
because he has diabetes.
Okay, I'm calling it right now. When Jimmy talks, you gotta do a Wilford Brimley voice.
The evening I died, I was in my bedroom in front of my mirror, and Jimmy was in his room next door, snoring peacefully on top of his diabetic bed. Suddenly, the handle of my brush snapped off. I was forever breaking brushes. You'd think I had steel wool for hair rather than fine California surfer girl silk.
Jesus Christ.
She's a mutant.
I just want to clarify to the listener, not ad-libbed. That's what
Yeah. Right in there.
I used to
Was she
take a
using
lot
just,
of my
like, little
frustrations.
plastic barber's combs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to take a lot of my frustrations out on my hair. I was mildly stressed that evening as I was getting ready for Beth Palmoni's birthday party. I'd only gone through 4 brushes instead of my usual 10. Beth was sort of a friend of mine, sort of an accidental associate, and the latest in a seemingly endless string of bitches who were trying to steal my
Damn.
boyfriend away.
Oh damn.
Damn.
I kind of am glad Sherry's dead.
Me too.
She
Oh my
she
God.
seems not nice.
Yeah.
But she was the kind of girl I hated to hate because she was so nice. She was always smiling and complimenting me. I never really trusted people like that, but they could still make me feel guilty. Her nickname was Big Beth. My best friend, Joanne Fulton, had given it to her. Beth had big breasts.
Oh gee.
This book is
I'm
already
ad-libbing none of this.
No, I was just gonna say this book is already like at an 11. Like Fear Street
instant-
seems ridiculously
Big Beth
tame.
is not very creative.
It's not.
Yeah.
The instant my 5th brush broke, I cursed. My parents were extremely well off. but it was the only brush I had left, and my layered waves of dark blonde hair were lumpy knots of dirty wool from the shower I'd just taken. I didn't want to disturb Jimmy, but I figured I could get in and borrow his brush without waking him.
How?
It was still early, about 8 o'clock,
Why
but
is
I
he
knew
asleep?
he was...
Is he in a
But
diabetic coma?
Well, she's about to explain, Jonathan. But I knew he was zonked out from working all day.
No.
To my parents' dismay, Jimmy had decided to get a real job rather than go to college after graduating from high school.
Smart.
Although he enjoyed fiddling with computers, he'd never been academically inclined. He loved to work outdoors. He had gotten a job with the telephone company taking telephone poles out of the ground.
Why is that like
Emphasized
emphasized?
dismantling the telephone
I'm
industry.
just like picturing him like Paul Bunyan, like wrapping his hands like around a pole and be like,
A part of me knows that it will never be relevant. But then another part of me is just like,
pole!
why point it out unless it was relevant?
Out! Out!
Oh my
Okay, he once
shit.
told me that taking down a nice old telephone pole was almost as distressing as, page turn, chopping down an old tree.
Distressing.
How did they get the pole to begin with?
Right? You're liberating that tree.
Oh my god.
what?
Shit. He was kind of sensitive like that, but he liked the work because he was a greeny hippie freak bitch boy. That's totally in the book. After I left my room, I heard someone come in the front door. I knew who it was without looking. Mrs. Mary Parrish and her daughter, Amanda. My parents had gone out for the night, but earlier that evening had thrown a cocktail party for a big wig real estate developer from back east who was thinking of joining forces with my dad to exploit Southern California's few remaining square feet of beachfront property.
So they threw a cocktail party and then left to go out somewhere else?
They
Am
pre-
I
yeah.
just
They-
old? But like,
They pre
Yeah.
It's a power move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they pre-gamed to get like fucked
Yeah.
later.
they hosted a party and then left and went out.
Yeah. Well, they clearly went to a strip club.
They're going to get cocaine, wherever that is. Mrs. Parrish worked as a part-time housekeeper for my mom. She had called before I'd gone in for my shower to ask if everyone had left so she could get started cleaning up. That bitch is gonna steal some shit. She had also asked if Amanda could ride with me to Beth's party. I had answered yes to both of these questions and told her I'd be upstairs getting dressed when they arrived and to just come in. Mrs. Parrish had a key to the house.
This is a lot of detail.
I know. I'm like, is this shit gonna come up later?
Yes, it has to. It has to. It has to.
Foreshadow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a callback to the end, and Mrs. Parrish is like, I don't know.
She had the key the whole time.
Yeah,
She had the key the whole time.
Who had the key but Mrs. Parrish?
Or Amanda. It's Amanda. She's
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Just like with like the only thing that would save my soul is if my brother pulled the telephone pole out of the ground.
I bet Amanda has the hots for Jimmy, and she's going to jump his bones.
I think Sherry has the hots for Jimmy.
Well, yeah. I called to them from upstairs, which overlooks a large portion of the downstairs, before stealing into Jimmy's room. I'll be down in a minute. Just make yourselves at home and get to work.
That's to work.
Get to work.
Damn.
Fuck you, bitch.
I,
Why don't you throw some trash away?
Yeah, shit. Sherry's not making it easy to empathize with her.
No,
It's
no.
tracking with every protagonist of every book we've ever read on this show.
That's pretty true.
I heard Mrs. Parrish chuckle and caught a faint glimpse of her gray hair. Gray head. Her gray head. She has a gray head.
She's
She's
an
a
alien.
fucking zombie. Yeah. As she entered the living room carrying a yellow bucket filled with cleaning supplies. I loved Mrs. Parrish, even though I called her a gray stony bitch all the time. She always seemed so happy in spite of the hard life she'd had. Her husband had suddenly left her years earlier, broke and unskilled.
Jesus fucking
Good
Christ.
Lord.
I love this
So
book, by
is-
the way. This is a million times better.
Yeah.
than any
Is the
used-
husband broken unskilled or is she broken
I think
unskilled?
she's broken unskilled,
See, pronouns.
which
Yeah.
is pretty harsh,
I mean,
Sherry.
he's got to pay alimony, I would think.
I don't know. This was the 80s.
Not if he
Yeah,
went to
he might-
Mexico.
He might just have a secret family.
Yeah. Maybe they were his secret family, and he was like, I got to put an end to this.
He's like, you're too broken,
this.
unskilled. I can't stay here.
You're too unskilled.
I didn't see Amanda at first, nor did I hear her. I guess I thought she'd changed her mind and decided not to go to the party. I'm not sure I would have entered Jimmy's room and then let him slip past me in a semi-conscious state if I'd known that his girlfriend was in the house.
Oh.
Wait, what? Girlfriend and boyfriend, I use the words loosely.
Oh, boy.
Jimmy had been going with Amanda Parrish for 3 months when I died.
Called it.
Yeah, I know it. You always date the housekeeper's daughter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was the thing in the 80s, right? That's what we all wanted to do. Because we all had housekeepers.
Yes, exactly.
I mostly wanted to watch Muppet Babies in the 80s.
We all lived in a California beachfront property and had wild parent Coke parties.
I was the one who introduced them to each other at my 18th birthday party. They hadn't met before, largely because Jimmy was a shut-in and masturbated wildly to photos of me instead of going to school like a regular boy. Oh, and they went to different high schools.
Yeah, he went to the diabetic school.
Yeah, he had to go to, our Lady of Diabetes.
Our Lady of the Sugar.
Our Lady of Immaculate Insulin.
Our Lady of the Beatus.
Amanda was another one of those friends who wasn't a real friend. Fuck, Sherry.
Jesus.
Just someone I sort of knew because of her mother. But I liked Amanda a lot better than I liked Beth. First of all, tiny breasts. She was some kind of beauty. My best friend, Joe, once remarked, in a poetic mood, that Amanda had eyes as gray as a frosty, overcast day and a smile as warm as early spring. What? Joe is in love with Amanda.
And if they thought of rain, oh God, I don't remember my Guns N' Roses.
That fit Amanda. She had a mystery about her, but it was always right there in front of you, in her grave but wonderful face. What the fuck? What? I'm not making any of this up. She also had this. She also had this incredibly long dark hair. I think it was a fantasy of my brother's to bury his face in that hair and let everyone else in the world disappear except him and Amanda.
He wants to bury his face somewhere else, friends.
Lost in that hair and just get in that.
Next sentence is creepier.
Get in that hair. I have to admit that I was a bit jealous of her because I want to fuck my brother. Amanda's presence.
This
common theme throughout all the books we read.
It really
brother
is.
fucking.
Yeah. Every girl in these books is just like, my brother's so funny and attractive and handsome.
Oh my
He's
God.
so attractive.
They're all
blocking
Lannisters.
That out about Sweet Valley.
Sweet Valley?
High.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
They're all Lannisters. They all want to fuck their sister.
Yep.
Fuck their brother.
Amanda's presence at my birthday party had me slightly off balance. Her birthday had been at my birthday party. Her birthday had been only the day before mine. That bitch.
Dun dun dun.
The whole evening, I remember feeling as if I had to give her one of my presents or something.
That's not a fucking thing, bitch.
Yeah, and also you're 18. It's not like you're 6.
Yeah. What I ended up giving her... Oh, my God! What I ended up giving her was my brother.
Jesus Christ.
I brought Jimmy over to meet her, and that was the last I saw of him that night. It was love at first sight. And that evening, and for the next few weeks, I thought Amanda loved him too. They were inseparable. But then, for no obvious reason, Amanda started to put up a wall.
Build that wall.
And Jimmy started to get an ulcer.
A real one?
So one of these is a
Because he's an
metaphor,
old-ass man.
and one of these is a... borrow again. Borrow again!
Oh God, is it gonna take us back to the cover? No, we're good.
No, we're good. We're good. Ugh, crisis averted.
Remembered. Huzzah.
Oh, boy. That was so scary. Okay, so she put up a wall and he had an ulcer.
Which one of those is the metaphor?
The ulcer.
No.
I've never been a big believer in moderation. What? But I honestly believe that the intensity of his feelings for her was unhealthy. He was obsessed. He was diabetic. But I'm digressing.
She was the sugar that he craved that would kill him.
And I was the insulin right in front of him the whole time.
Why aren't you obsessed with me, Jimmy? I'm right here all the time, next door.
I'm always sneaking into your room after I break 5,000 hairbrushes.
We're not exactly related.
God.
Just,
We don't know who Daddy is.
biologically.
Yeah.
After calling out to Mrs. Parrish, I crept into Jimmy's room. Ugh.
Oh.
Good that she's dead now. It doesn't count.
She's not dead yet.
Except for the green glow from his computer screen, nerd, which he was in the habit of leaving on, bad for it. It was dark.
Yeah, in
Jimmy-
89, that's super bad.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's gonna get burned.
It's gonna burn. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna burn in. Jimmy's got a weird physiology.
What the fuck?
Jesus
Describe
Christ.
his body in detail.
This book is awesome.
I'm all about it so far.
Oh man, we're 5 pages in, and I'm so fucking into this. When I started for his desk and his brush, he was lying dead to the world with a sheet twisted around his muscular torso. Fuck, Sherry, dial it back. But only seconds later, as I picked up the brush, he was up and heading for the door with a full erection. I knew he wasn't awake, or even half
knocks
awake.
over the brush.
Because the sheet was like dragging from it. So
Yeah. Sleepwalkers walk differently, kind of like zombies in horror films, only maybe a little faster. So, like in newer horror films.
Dun dun dun.
All he had on were his underpants, and they were
Ew.
kind of hanging.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That one, God.
Wow.
Oh my god. All right.
Oh no.
I smiled to myself seeing him go.
Fuck, Sherry.
We were upstairs and there was a balcony he could theoretically flip over, but I wasn't worried about him hurting himself. I had discovered from years of observation that God watches over sleepwalkers better than he does drunks or upset teenage girls. ...
this shit's fucking poetry.
This is so dark and weird. Holy shit.
I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it. Then I thought of I don't know. Then I thought of Amanda, possibly downstairs with her mom, and how awful Jimmy would feel if he suddenly woke up scratching himself in the hall in plain sight of her. Taking the brush, I ran after him because priorities.
Yeah.
It was good that I did. He was fumbling with the knob on the bathroom door when I caught him. At first, I wasn't absolutely sure there was anyone in the bathroom, but the light was on and it hadn't been a few minutes earlier. Jimmy turned and stared at me with a pleasant but vaguely confused expression. He looked like a puppy who had just scarfed down a bowl of marijuana-laced dog food.
What?
That's a very
Sherry's done it
specific
before.
description.
Sherry's done it before.
Jimmy, I whispered, afraid to raise my voice. Jimmy. I could hear Mrs. Parrish whistling downstairs and was becoming more convinced with each passing second that Amanda was indeed inside the bathroom. Jimmy smiled at me serenely. Blow, he said.
What?
Shh, I said, taking hold of his hand and leading him away from the door.
No.
He followed obediently,
No.
and after hitching up his boxer shorts an inch or two,
No.
I steered him in the direction of my parents' bedroom.
No!
Use that bathroom. This one's no good. I didn't wake him up for a couple of reasons.
Because I like to
Testicle
look
1
at
and
his boner.
testicle 2.
Because he'd say no. First, he's real hard to wake up when he's sleepwalking, which is strange because otherwise he's a very light sleeper.
I call it
He's
the
also
octagon.
real hard when he's sleepwalking.
He can poke out my eye.
But you practically have to slap him when he's out for a stroll. Second, I was afraid he might have a heart attack if he suddenly came to and realized how close he'd come to making a fool of himself in front of his princess. After he disappeared inside my parents' room,
Jesus
I
Christ.
returned to the bathroom in the hall and knocked lightly on the door.
Oh my god.
Getting more whiskey.
Okay. Yeah.
This book's going to be a lot. Also, it's like they can afford a cleaning lady and can afford a cocktail hour and go out while having 2 adult children live at home, but they don't have a downstairs bathroom that girl could go to.
Good point.
Oh, yeah.
Amanda, is that you? I called softly. There was a pause. Yeah, I'll be right out. I'm getting some kitchen cleanser. Why is it in the upstairs bathroom if it's fucking kitchen cleanser? Since she wasn't going to the bathroom, I thought it would be okay to try the knob. Turns out it was just my brother again, and I shooed him back into my parents' bedroom. Amanda looked up in surprise when I peeked in. She was by the sink, in front of the medicine cabinet, and a small wall refrigerator. What?
Insulin.
Okay. In front of the medicine cabinet and a small wall refrigerator, and she had one of... But also, like, they have a wall refrigerator in their upstairs bathroom, and they don't have a downstairs bathroom. Anyway.
Well, clearly she's in this bathroom for some specific reason.
I'm
Nefarious reason.
Nefarious.
I'm just getting hung up on a lot of shit here. In front of the medicine cabinet and a small wall refrigerator, and she had one of Jimmy's syringes and a vial of insulin in her hand. Jimmy's insulin had to be kept cool, and he'd installed the tiny ice box himself, so he wouldn't have to keep his medication in the kitchen fridge downstairs where everybody could see it. God forbid they knew he had diabetes.
You don't want people coming over to your house and eating your insulin.
Yeah. Out of syringes.
Wait,
Because,
what the fuck?
this is a future novel where all
I'm
food's
sorry,
in
I
syringes.
walked away
Yeah.
and Amanda grabbed the insulin
Yeah.
syringe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
He wasn't proud of his illness. Amanda knew Jimmy was a diabetic, but she didn't know he needed daily shots of medication. Jimmy didn't want Amanda to know. Well, the cat was out of the bag now. The best I could do, I thought, was to make a joke of the matter. Amanda, I said in a shocked tone, how could you do this to your mother and me? She glanced down at the stuff, blood in her cheeks. Mom told me to look for some Ajax, and I... Ajax, I said in disbelief. I wasn't born yesterday, child. Those are drugs you're holding. Drugs! I put my hand to my mouth. Oh, God. I was a hell of an actress. Amanda just didn't know where I was coming from. She quickly put down the needle. I didn't mean to, she began. I laughed. Ha 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 ha. And so believable. And stepped into the bathroom. I know you weren't snooping, Amanda. Don't worry, so you found the family stash. What the hell? We'll cut you in for a piece of the action if you keep your mouth shut. What do you say? Deal? Amanda peered at me with her wide gray eyes.
Oh my God.
And for a moment I thought of Jimmy's expression a moment earlier. The innocence in both. Sherry? I took the syringe and vial of insulin from her hand and spoke seriously.
You know how Jimmy's always watching his diet? Well, this is just another one of his conditions he doesn't like to talk about. That's all. I opened the medicine cabinet and the fridge and put the stuff away. It's no big deal, is what I'm saying.
I'm just an asshole.
I'm just a horrible bitch to my brother and my friends.
Oh my God.
Amanda stared at me a moment. I wasn't looking directly at her, but I could see her reflection in the medicine cabinet mirror. What is it about a mirror that makes the beautiful more beautiful? And the pretty but not exceptional less exceptional?
What?
What?
What the fuck are you talking? Is Sherry high?
Pretty
Like,
people get prettier and not pretty people get uglier?
yes,
In a
I
mirror?
guess.
in a mirror.
Okay.
I don't understand it. Neither do we, Sherry.
Neither do we. Yeah,
A camera can
no
do the
one
same
does,
thing.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Amanda looked so beautiful at that moment that I could imagine all the pain she would cause my poor brother if her wall got any higher. Oh, I get it. We're back to the wall metaphor. Right. And I think I resented her for it a tiny bit. She brushed her dark black hair back from her pink cheeks. I won't say anything to him, she said. It's no big deal, I said. You're right. She nodded to the cupboard under the sink. I suppose I should have been looking down there. We both bent over at the same instant and almost bumped heads.
They've got
Then-
sexual tension.
I feel like Sherry's gonna have sexual tension with everybody.
Yeah, definitely written by a horny ass
Including
man.
the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Her name Mrs. Palmer. Was that her name? I don't remember.
Parrish.
And then Mrs. Parrish came in and threw off all her clothes. What are you ladies doing in here? Then I remembered that Jimmy was still wandering around. Excusing myself, I left Amanda to find the Ajax and went searching for him. When I ran into him coming out of my parents' bedroom, he was wide awake. Have I been sleepwalking? He asked. No? Don't you remember? You went to sleep standing up here. I pushed him back into my parents' bedroom and closed the door.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Amanda's here. He immediately tensed, and his boner went doing.
But this one was an awake boner.
Downstairs?
No, down the hall in the bathroom. You almost peed on her.
You almost peed on her? What the fuck? Oh, God.
Holy shit. Every time I read
Sometimes,
ahead, I regret it.
sometimes my sense of humor could be cruel.
Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Jimmy sucked in a breath, and his blue eyes got real big. My brother's pretty cute. I like to think of him when I'm jerking off, if I do say so myself. It runs in the family.
Jerking off to siblings.
Jerking off to siblings. When I'm fingering myself, I think about how he's the solid type, with a hint of refinement.
What?
One could imagine him handling cattle all day from the saddle, if you know what I mean,
By
ladies.
cattle, I mean my clitoris.
Playing a little ball in the evening with the boys, if you know what I mean, ladies.
God.
And taking me to an elegant French restaurant at night where he would ...
Wait. Oops. Wait.
select the proper wine to go with dinner.
If you know what I mean.
Am I right, lady?
Except he would mispronounce the name of the wine, like all diabetics. That was Jimmy. He was totally far out, but he wasn't perfect.
Did she see me?
He asked.
Isn't this a little late in the 80s for things to be totally far out?
Yeah, right? It's 89.
Yeah, 89, yeah.
He should be
Far out is
radical.
more like 85,
Yeah.
86.
Radical.
Radical.
Tubular.
No,
Yeah.
I saved you. You were about to walk in on her when I steered you this way.
You sure she didn't see me?
I'm sure. He relaxed. Jimmy always believed everything I told him, even though he knew what an excellent liar I was. Fuck. I guess he figured if I ever did lie to him, it would be for his own good. You fucking hear that? Be for your
Jesus.
own good. He thought I was a lot smarter than he was, which I thought was stupid of him.
What?
Stupid idiot.
What she doing here?
He asked with a note of hope in his voice. I couldn't very well lie and tell him Amanda had come over to see him, even though I am a great fucking liar. When I had been in the bathroom with her, she hadn't even asked if he was home. Her mother brought her over. She's downstairs cleaning up the mess from the cocktail party. Amanda wants to ride to Beth's party with me.
Why is she going? Is she a friend of Beth's?
I feel like neither you or
I don't
Jamie
even-
have ever heard what
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley sounds like.
I
can't
am
do it.
definitely realizing that, like, I don't know how to do a
Barbados.
Wilford Brimley impression, but I'm doing what's in my heart.
All I know is him saying,
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes and diabetes medication.
You sound like you're gonna accidentally strangle a kitten.
I feel
By
like I
holding it
feel like
too
what I said was Wilford Brimley, but what I'm doing is Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Give me all the ham. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
No, wait, who's talking? Okay. Not really. I don't know why she wants to go. I had to wonder if Amanda had time to buy a present, even if she had the money to buy one. Fuck.
damn.
She and her mom didn't exactly enjoy material prosperity.
Oh, what a cunt.
I don't need to fucking add anything to make Sherry this
Yeah.
ridiculous.
She's horrible.
Is she still in the bathroom?
I'm gonna do it. I'm committing. I'm committing to this. He asked. I don't know. You're not going to talk to her, are you?
Why not?
You're not dressed, I said, pointing to his still
She-
erection.
She sounds like Jessica from Sweet Valley.
Yeah.
She's such a Jessica.
She is such a Jessica. He smiled.
I'll put my pants on first.
He started to open the door.
I think she has gone back downstairs.
I can't fucking keep that up. I'm like watching Chris's face while I'm doing it. Wait, Jimmy? I grabbed his arm. He stopped and looked at me. When was the last time you called her? Monday, he added. 4 days ago. That was the last time you talked to her. You called her yesterday. Wait, what? That was the last time you talked to her. You called her yesterday.
Maybe she didn't answer.
You called her the day before. Oh, yeah, I get it. You called her the day before
Jonathan.
that, too. Maybe you should give it a rest, Jimmy.
Maybe you should stop counting, Sherry.
I've been keeping tabs on you, brother.
Brother.
Why? I just want to say hi, that's all. I'm not being fanatical or anything. Of course you're not, I lied. But sometimes it's better, to play a little hard to get. It makes you more desirable.
Ew.
He waved his hand. I'm not into all those games. He tried to step by, but I stopped him again.
Ugh.
I told her you were asleep, I said. She asked about me? Yeah, sure.
Sure, whatever.
Literally what
Ugh.
it says.
Oh, fuck.
I wasn't even sure why I was so uptight about his not talking to her. I guess
I am sure.
Yeah,
All of
aware.
us are sure, Sherry.
Yeah, we know why, Sherry.
I guess I couldn't stand to see Jimmy placed in a potentially humiliating situation. But perhaps I was just jealous.
She's horny on Maine.
Oh, that wasn't even ad-libbed.
No, it wasn't. You don't have, this is like the least work I've ever had to do ad-libbing in a book.
Seriously.
We have to leave for the party in a couple of minutes, I added. He began to reconsider. Well, I guess I shouldn't bother her. He shook his head. I wish her mom would tell her when I've called.
Aw.
Jimmy. No, he said quickly. Amanda really doesn't get the messages. She told me so herself. Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Oh, honey.
Oh, sweetie.
I couldn't imagine that being true, but I kept my mouth shut. I'll drop sly hints to Amanda tonight that she should call you tomorrow. He nodded at the brush in my hand. Isn't that mine? Yeah, mine broke. You have a dozen brushes. They're all broken.
Oh my god.
Chris was
I
exaggerating, but he was correct. Completely.
God.
I'm a seer.
Listen, when I had hair, I had long, thick, curly hair. I think I've maybe broken one brush in my entire lifetime.
Well, she's clearly got
She's
a lot of
like
issues.
a couple a night at least.
Yeah. It's her X Factor gene manifesting.
It
This is
her
really
hair.
an
It's her
X-Man book.
vice-like grip.
She's gonna work through her incest lust.
Like, brush till the feelings go away.
Brush till I'm not horny anymore.
Oh God.
I gestured to our mom's makeup table behind us. She never went out of the house. Whoa, shit. I need to stop being so clicky. She never went out of the house without fixing herself up for an hour. Some might have called her a snob. I had called her that myself a few times, but never when my father was around. We didn't have a lot in common. All right. And Mom wouldn't I'm sorry, I forgot how to read. And Mom wouldn't let me use one of hers. What did Amanda ask about me? If you were getting enough rest, I patted him on the shoulder. Go to bed. I tucked Jimmy back in bed
No.
so that he could be fresh when his alarm went off at 3 in the morning and finished getting ready.
At when?
3 in the morning, so he can rip those telephone poles out of the
I was
ground.
just gonna say, wait. I was gonna say, what was his job, and how could I ever forget?
With his burly arms. When I went back downstairs, I found Amanda and her mom in the kitchen discussing whether half-eaten chocolate cake should be divided into pieces before squeezing it into the jammed refrigerator. Why don't we just throw it in the garbage? I suggested. Mrs. Parris looked unhappy about the idea, which was interesting only because she usually looked so happy. Maybe I should clarify that. She wasn't one of those annoying people who go around with perpetual smiles on their faces. Her joy was quiet, an internal matter.
Oh my God.
But if I may be so bold, it often seemed that it shone a bit brighter whenever the two of us were alone together.
What the
Almost
fuck?
as if she wished I was her daughter.
She
I
horny
could
for the
talk to her
mom?
for hours about everything, even boys, and she'd just listen without giving me advice, and she always made me feel better, almost as if she didn't have a choice in the matter, seeing as how I was her employer.
Right?
Yeah.
He's holding her hostage. And you come in the room and you're just being a fucking rich bitch, like, throw the cake in the trash, I don't care! And then, like, waxing poetic lyric about her silent internal joy.
Oh, Mrs. Parrish, you're so unskilled.
It must be so nice to be so simple and happy.
Yeah. Oh.
Mrs.
Let the
Parrish is
rats eat the
seething
cake.
I'm
inside.
so glad she's dead. Holy shit.
Joe, little Joe, in quotes, had given her a nickname too, Mother Mary. I called Mrs. Parrish that all the time. She was a devout Catholic. Of course, we are wasps. She went to Mass several times a week and never retired for the night without saying her rosary. That was the one area where we didn't connect. I was never religious. Oh, I always liked Jesus.
What?
And I even went to church now and then.
I
But
find
used
him
to have
rather
more
hunky
important
when I think
things.
about it. Up on the cross with
I
only
dabble
a
in Jesus.
loincloth. Here's
Like
Yeah,
my
he's
brother
reminded
when
me
he
of my
sleeps.
brothers.
Oh my
But I
God,
used to
like
have-
Jesus. Oh my God.
But I used to have more important things to think about than God. Like whether I should try to have sex with my boyfriend before I graduated from high school, or whether I should wait until the 4th of July and the fireworks. I wanted it
To
to be
have
a special
sex?
moment. I wanted my whole life to be special, but I just hardly ever thought about God.
Is that the first time she's mentioned her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, she said something before about like wanting to hang out with her boyfriend on the beach.
I don't
but,
remember.
But we
She talks about her brother 100% more than she
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah,
her
for sure,
boyfriend.
for sure.
If you were to ask me who is her boyfriend, I would say her brother Jimmy, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
I'm repeating myself. I must be getting emotional. I'll try to watch that. Not everything I
What? You
have to
didn't
tell is
repeat
very
anything.
pleasant. Back to that blasted cake.
Blasted
Mrs. Parrish
cake.
felt it would be a waste to
Is she
throw it out.
Dickensian? What is this?
Back to that blasted cake.
Oh my God.
Sarah.
Mrs. Parrish thought it would be a waste to throw it out. Sherry, don't you think that your mom would want some tomorrow? She asked. If it's here, she'll eat it, I said, and then she'll just complain about ruining her diet. I ran my finger around the edge and tasted the icing in an alluring way, because I also
Sexually.
had a thing
What
for
the
Mrs.
fuck?
Parrish.
Yeah. I started fingering the cake.
I had already tasted about half a pound of it earlier in the day. Oh, wow. Try this, Amanda. It's disgusting.
Fuck.
Amanda said, bitch, what the fuck you want me to try it for then, motherfucker, bitch, stupid ass. Why do I have to hang out with this goddamn hoe? Amanda looked doubtful. I'm not a big cake person. Mrs. Parrish suddenly changed her mind about saving it.
Maybe we should throw it out.
You don't like cake? I asked Amanda. That's impossible. Everybody likes cake. You can't come to Beth's party with me unless you eat cake. Here, just try it. This little piece. I could be so pushy. Amanda had a little piece, along with her mother, and they Frenched in front of me because I paid them to do it. I recorded it on VHS so I could stir the soup later at night thinking about my brother. And I had a slightly larger piece. Then I decided that maybe there was room for it in the refrigerator after all. I didn't care if my mother got fat or not.
Oh my God.
When that bitch dies, I get all the money. So Mrs. Parrish sent Amanda to check to see if our vacuum cleaner needed a new bag. For a moment, the two of us were alone, which was nice.
Ooh.
I sat at the table and told her about the party we were going to while she stacked dishes in the dishwasher. It's for Beg Beth, I began. We call her Beg because our tits are huge.
I used to know these girls in high school, and they were both named Sam. We were on the field hockey team, and there was a big Sam and a little Sam. And it wasn't that big Sam was big, it was that little Sam was really little. But Big Sam did not enjoy her nickname very much, and I felt kind of bad for her because it's so hard when there's two Sams on the same team, and you're like, Big
Well, she
Sam,
could've
I need to
just
get your
been-
attention.
She
So-
could have just been Sam and then little Sam.
I guess.
Yeah.
There was a guy.
Or Sammy.
So last, not this past November, but before the pandemic, at work I went to a conference, the one in New York at TWA Hotel,
Yeah.
and one of the guys I work with is named Ben, who is, I would say, average height. But then there was another guy that was in a neighboring department there with us, also named Ben, and he was shorter than the Ben I work with. And somehow, I don't know who did it, but the names Tall Ben and Small Ben started.
I thought you were gonna say Big Ben. Obviously,
Yeah, so
did I.
Tall and Small Ben. That's fucking insane.
I think someone called the other Ben Small Ben, and then called regular sized Ben Tall Ben, and we kept like hanging out and having dinner together. So like.
Hey,
We
Small Ben.
literally all just started calling them Tall Ben and Small Ben, and I was like, I kind of feel bad about this, but like the trains left
I
the
can't
station.
imagine either of
Yeah.
them enjoyed it.
Well, why
No,
in the
I don't-
Hey,
fuck
TB.
wouldn't you
Hey,
just go
SB.
for Big Ben?
I don't think either. Well, because Big Ben is not big.
Well, he doesn't sound tall either.
He is not. I think calling him Tall Ben was a way to justify how much of a dick move it was to call the other guy Small Ben. I would like to reiterate, I am not the one who
rhymed.
started this. And it
Lil Ben.
rhymes.
Lil Ben.
Lil Ben.
L-I-L Ben.
Lil Ben.
Lil Ben.
See, the thing is, Tall Ben.
Big Dick Ben.
To Big Dick Ben. Tall Ben is like, I already call him Little Baby Boy because he's like 20.
Oh, that's on your team?
Yeah,
They
'cause
called him Tall Ben.
They called him Tall Ben. He's like,
He's a little baby.
I know, he's like 26, but I keep calling him a little baby boy. And like, it's gotten to the point where we joke about it. And I'm like, Ben, how old are you? And he's like, I don't know, nothing. I'm just 16 years old.
You could call him tuberculosis, TB.
And they call me Dad because I'm the oldest one.
Hello, father.
Anyway, continue.
I've already told you how she's been flirting with Dan at school. It really pisses me off.
Oh, is Dan the boyfriend? I'm pretty sure that's the first time she said his name.
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
not. Oh, okay, yeah. She's
His name's
not
Dan.
said her boyfriend's name.
I'll see the two of them together on the side of the courtyard, and then when I walk over to them, she greets me like she's really glad to see me, like nothing's been going on between them.
How do you know something is going on?
Mrs. Parrish asked.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because Dan looks so uncomfortable. Yeah, I know. Why get mad at her and not at him? I chuckled. It's simple. He might leave me and run off with her. I was forever making jokes about things that really mattered to me. I
Was that a
doubted that.
joke?
It doesn't sound like a
To
joke.
her it is because
It sounds like she's a
I
jealous
just want to
bitch.
say I love Jamie's Mrs. Parrish voice
Me-
because it sounds like the narrator from fucking Clone Wars. Like, meanwhile, Jedi have invaded Camino.
see, I was thinking it sounded like Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey.
Meanwhile, Sherry is a bitch.
I thought it sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire. We're all vastly different here. He's doing like an old British lady.
Yeah. Either way, everything all of us are doing is the best.
I doubted that even Mrs. Parrish understood that about me. I may not have been obsessed with Daniel the way Jimmy was with Amanda, or that I was with Jimmy. But I couldn't stand the thought of losing him. Actually, if I lost him, I could just fuck my brother, so it's all good.
It's fine. It's all good.
Actually, I honestly believed he cared for me, but I continued to worry. I was never really cool, not inside, not about love.
Is Dan taking you and Amanda to the party?
Mrs. Parrish asked, carefully bending over. Why is she bending over?
Oh,
And filling the dishwasher with detergent. I guess that's what they called it in the 80s. She had an arthritic spine from me
what the
banging
what?
her,
Oh my god!
from me knocking her out every time she came over. Often, if we were alone in the house, it'd be scissor time. She would let me help her sweep the floor or scrub the bathrooms.
Wait, like, let her?
The floor and the
Like, her
bathrooms are
family
what I call
pays
my
her to do
vagina
it.
and anus, respectively.
So it's like, oh, sometimes I let my boss do my work.
It's like a funny little joke to her. She's just like swiping the broom at the ceiling, and
yeah.
Mrs. Parrish is like, "Oh, Sherry."
God.
Yeah, like I'm
She's
gonna have
using
to
the
do
wrong
it again
end of the,
later.
Yeah.
the broom.
Dun-dun-dun.
But never, if anyone else was present. I noticed she particularly disliked Amanda knowing she needed help. Yeah, we're picking Joe up too. He should be here in a sec, I paused. Mary, what do you think of Dan? She brightened. He's very dashing. I had to smile. Dashing. Great word. He is cute, yeah. I took another forkful of cake and shoveled it in my fucking mouth. Although I needed it about as much as I needed another 2 pounds on my hips. Am I right, ladies? What I mean, though, is do you like him as a person? Are you into him? Do you think he's hot? Tell me everything. She wiped her hands on her apron. And
Why would she know him as a person?
Yeah,
God
she's
damn
the
it.
housekeeper.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Every relationship she has with everybody is wrong.
Yeah.
She
So
wiped her
inappropriate.
She wiped her hands on her apron and scratched her gray old head. Unlike her daughter's, her hair was not one of her finer features.
Jesus.
It was terribly thin. Her scalp showed a little, particularly on the top, whenever she bent over. And she was only 50. Thinking about it, honestly, it made me kind of want to throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I have to keep looking at the book to see what is actually in the book now. She actually is 50.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
To be quite frank. And get
Because
used
I've been
to
holding back.
Yeah,
so
I was
far.
just going to say, to be quite frank, and get used to it, folks, because I tell it like it is. She wasn't what anyone would have called a handsome lady.
Yeah, no one says that, bitch.
She did, however, have a great ass.
I was going to say
you
a
were gonna say
dump truck
caboose.
ass.
She had a Pixar mom ass.
Oh, Pixar mom ass, yeah. She did, however, have a gentle, lovely smile. He seems nice enough, she said hesitantly. Go on. How does he treat you? Fine, but...
Yes?
I'm sorry. You were gonna say something first?
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, it was what? No, what were you gonna say? No, it was not. No, tell me. What were you gonna say?
It was nothing.
Tell me. She hesitated again.
He's always talking about things.
What?
Things? I asked, even though I knew what she meant.
Like nouns?
Daniel likes. I'm not making any of this up. Daniel liked things.
Oh, it is just a list of nouns.
Daniel liked things with an italic font.
Things.
Things. Daniel liked things. Hot cars. I can't go past hot cars. Hot cars. Social events. Pretty people. The usual. You know. Things. I had
Holy shit.
since
Oh
the,
my god.
since the
Oh, I believe in you. You
this
can
is
do it.
this is I can't I'm gonna fucking die. Since the universe was composed primarily of things, I had never seen it as a fault yet.
Who wrote this book? The makers of
Yes.
Katamari?
Yet Daniel could be hard to talk to sometimes because he seldom showed any deep feelings or concern for anything but things.
Fucking Christ.
What the absolute fuck is going on?
What is
Mrs.
happening?
And meanwhile, all Sherry's thinking about is, do I fuck him on prom or do I fuck him on the 4th of July?
Also, she's
Or
dead.
do I fuck my
Yeah,
brain?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, lest we forget, this is her leading up to her death. This is the ghost narrator.
This
Thank
might
God.
be the best book we've ever done so far.
Yeah, no, this
I
is
am
blowing
enjoying
fucking
the hell
the
out of this.
SVU out of the water.
This is fucking crazy. Holy shit.
We have to get Christine back before we finish this book.
Ah, yes, okay. Mrs. Parrish shrugged, squeezing a couple more glasses into the dishwasher, among other things. Does he ever I don't even remember what voice I was doing. Does he ever discuss the two of you?
Old British lady.
Does he?
All right, just move on.
Does he ever discuss the two of you, eh?
He's Bob Hoskins now.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I lied.
Or Dick Van Dyke. and
You
Mary
communicate
Poppins.
well when you're not alone when you're alone together then. What?
Is Mrs. Parrish usually there when they're alone?
Yeah, what the fucking... I need another
God.
fucking drink. Holy shit.
That's good. That was the only thing I was concerned about. She closed the door on the washer and turned it on. The water churned. So did my stomach. I was pushing away. I pushed away the cake. I heard a car pulling up outside. It must be Daniel, I thought. I excused myself and hurried to the front door. I found him outside opening our garage. Graduation was a couple weeks off, but my parents had already bought me my present. I can't say what it was without giving the impression I was spoiled rotten. Jesus fuck. It cost a fortune. It was fast. It
Oh my
was
God.
foreign. It was a Ferrari. Oh, my car. I loved it. I loved how red it was. I loved everything about it. Daniel loved it too, apparently. He hardly noticed my shining presence when I came out to greet him. He fell in love with my car at first sight. He had taken longer to fall in love with me. I had officially met Daniel after a high school play in which he played the lead. I have an incredible memory for facts, but I cannot remember what that play was about. That says a lot. He blew
That you're
me
a
away.
liar.
And he wasn't even that great. I'm not adding anything this page. He had forgotten several lines, and he'd been totally miscast. None of that mattered, though. He just had to strut around up there under the lights, and I felt I just had to go backstage afterward and commend him on his artistry. Of course, Joe had to drag me kicking and screaming to his dressing room. I was sort of shy sometimes. Are you? I'm fucking confused about who you are. It's constant contradiction.
Definitely not shy.
She's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Also,
I just had to
Yeah.
march back there, but my friend dragged me, but whatever, all right. Since we went to the same school and were in the same grade, I naturally knew of him before we met after the play. I would like to record for posterity that the reverse was also true, that he had noted with approval my existence the 4 years we had spent together at Hazard High.
Hazard High.
Just some good
Go
old
traffic
boys.
cones.
I need a minute to recover
Golly.
from Hazard High.
Pushing girls over balconies.
get long.
Oh my God. But the first thing he asked when Joe introduced us was if I was new to the area. What a liar. He didn't want me to think I was too cute. But
Nani?
he asked me out, and that was the bottom line. He asked me out right there in front of his dressing room with Joe standing 2 feet away, her mouth uncharacteristically closed. Later, it seemed so amazing to me that I wondered if Joe hadn't set it all up beforehand. What?
But she swore to the day I died that it wasn't so.
Good one.
She can literally say that.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna try my best to not ad-lib. Because this shit's just
You
too
really
good
don't
on
need
its
to.
own.
This
Really,
is
really
easy.
don't, yeah.
We're going to blow through this book.
See, I think that, but we're not even through the first chapter. We've been reading for like an hour.
Jesus.
I must talk about his dashing body. It was smooth
Must you?
and hard.
Oh God.
It had great lines, like a great race car. Except Daniel wasn't red. He was tan. He hugged the road when he moved.
His body?
He had legs. He had hips.
God.
Hold on.
Where else is this going to go?
I hope the fuck so.
He had fins. He had gills.
It gets
All right.
weirder.
This is an actual sentence in this actual book that was published by someone and sold for actual money. He had legs.
To
He
children.
had hips.
To children.
Period. He had independent rear suspension. We used to make out all the time in his bedroom with the music on real loud. And then, one warm and lustful evening, 2 weeks before Beth's birthday party, we
Whoa.
took off our clothes
Whoa.
and almost had sex.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Fingers
this
in
is
places.
exciting. I was going to get more whiskey, but I'm going to wait.
I loved to think about sex. I could fantasize 6 hours a day and not get tired, even
Totally
if I was
written by a man.
repeating the same fantasy with only slight variations. I was a master of slight variations, but one can think too much. When we got naked together in bed, things did not go well. Daniel couldn't.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, this will sound crude if I say it, so I'll say instead that I shouldn't have overdone it comparing him to my Ferrari. Yet, in a sense, he was as fast as the car. I left the room a virgin. He was so embarrassed, I didn't understand why. I was going to give him another 50 chances.
Okay, I'd like to...
Ad-libbing nothing, just
I'd
want to
like
reiterate.
to mark the
Ad-libbing
point
nothing.
in our below grade level timeline that first
The
ejaculation.
dirtiest book.
Yeah, dirtiest book so far.
Hot.
I wasn't going to tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone. Not really. Maybe Joe, sort of. But she couldn't have told anyone else and had enough details to sound like she knew what she was talking about, unless she added details of her own, much like this podcast.
Yeah, and girls
Daniel
never
and I
lie,
had
not
other
like
things
me.
in common. Other things we like to do together. We both enjoyed going to the
Things.
movies, to the beach, out to eat.
If
That
you know
may
what I
not
mean.
sound like a lot, but when you're in high school, it often seems like that's all there is. Anyway,
It literally is, though,
All I
yeah.
ever did
Yeah,
was
yeah.
go to the movies and
Yeah.
go to Denny's.
The craziest shit we
That's
did in
all
high
there
school
is.
is go bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I went outside to welcome Daniel, he was in ecstasy. He had turned on the light in the garage and was pacing around the car and kicking the tires like guys are fond of doing when they see a hot set of wheels. I didn't mind. He had on white pants and a rust-colored leather coat that went perfectly with his head of thick brown hair.
Wow.
What?
So does she drive a Ferrari? I missed that.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got a Ferrari
Oh,
for her
you
Yeah,
missed
she has a
that?
For her
Ferrari.
birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bitch.
It is red and
He
it's
has
foreign
white pants on.
and fast.
He's gonna ruin those pants.
Did you have it on the freeway today, Shar? He asked.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you gotta do like it's California.
Oh, is her name Shari?
Okay, so
No, it's definitely
like-
Sherry, but yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
really gonna lead into the whole Californians.
Yeah, please.
Did you have it on the freeway today, Shar?
Yes. Perfect.
He asked. Yeah, but I didn't push it. They told me to break it in slowly over the first 1,000 miles.
I don't know what that even fucking means.
I don't either.
Probably what they mean about his dick.
This baby could go up to 140 before it would begin to sweat.
He popped open the driver's door and studied the speedometer.
Do you know how many grand set your dad back?
He wouldn't tell me.
Do you know how many?
Daniel shook his head.
Let's just say he could have had bought you a house in the neighborhood for the same money.
Then he should
He went to
have.
climb inside. Yeah, he
Yeah.
and
Terrible
locked the door.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go? Can I drive?
We can't take it. Manda Parrish is here, and she's riding with us, and we have to pick up Joe. Although Joanne had introduced the two of us, Daniel didn't like Joe. Although Joanne had introduced the two of us,
That's so good.
Daniel didn't like her. It would be hard to pinpoint specifically what she did that bothered him, other than he was a boy and she was a lesbian, and she had intended to make the male species as a whole feel inferior
Yeah.
because she's a lesbian.
Yeah, she's a lesbian.
Good. I love Joe.
Yeah, come on.
All in
Joe-
on Joe.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
really excited because oh wait, no, shit. I thought our next guest, but it's not. I thought Joe and Brian were gonna.
Oh
read
shit!
us
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah. My best friend's name is Joe.
Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
very
nice.
excited.
Well,
It's
hashtag Team Joe.
Joanna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Joe for sure.
Hashtag
Yeah,
Team Joe.
I am more invested in Joe than I am in Sherry's
I cannot
whole bullshit.
Wait to meet Joe
Me
and get
either.
a really vivid, visceral description of what Joe looks like.
Get 3 solid pages of Sherry fucking tearing her up and down.
Yes.
My best friend. Yeah.
I had no idea what he thought of Amanda. He showed a trace of annoyance.
You didn't tell me.
I didn't know until a while ago. The Ferrari had no backseat. We can go for a drive in it tomorrow. He shut the door,
You can't.
sort of hard, and I jumped slightly. To be entirely truthful, I never felt entirely comfortable around
oh my
him.
God.
Oh, no.
What?
No, Sherry, no.
He sounds a little violent.
Like, you're
Yeah,
a bitch,
he's-
but no.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start lobbying for Shari.
Shari.
Shar.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Shar.
Let's do
Shar's
Shari.
better than Cher.
Maybe it's short
Shar-
for Charlene.
Yeah, Shari. Okay.
Charlene
strolled-
with an SH.
He strode toward
Yeah.
me and gave me a hug. His embraces were always unexpected.
What?
Huh, he said. Ha. He kissed me.
It's like French.
Hey.
Ha. He kissed me. He wasn't an expert in love making, but he had a warm mouth.
As opposed to a cold one.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
You got
Well, if his mouth
got
was
a
cold,
warm
he'd
mouth.
be the dead guy.
Oh, shit.
He also had strong arms. As they went around me, I could feel myself relaxing and tensing at the same time. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Sherry.
I was gonna
That's
say,
a
like,
Shari.
uh-oh.
That's a red flag.
Well, when you're viewing the world through red Ferraris, all red flags just look like flags.
Jesus.
I didn't know if other girls felt the same way when their boyfriends embraced them. No, they didn't, because they aren't with abusive psychos who only care about cars. Get away from him, Shari.
Ejaculate prematurely.
Yeah, you are terrible, Shari, but you deserve better than this fucker.
You deserve Joe.
Yeah, you deserve Joe. Joe is too good
No,
for
she
her.
deserves
Yeah.
Mrs. Parrish.
Actually, no. She deserves death, and she got it.
But when his kisses grew hard and deep, I didn't mind.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. We heard behind us a minute or so later. Daniel let go, and I whirled. There was Amanda, as pretty and as unprepared as when I walked in on her upstairs in the
It's been
bedroom.
like 20 minutes. She didn't finish getting ready.
Right?
Her big eyes looking down. She turned to leave.
At his cum-stained jeans.
I told you he was going to ruin him.
No, it's okay, I said, taking a step toward her, only mildly embarrassed.
We should be leaving. Stay here. I'll go say goodbye to Jimmy and Mother Mary. Be back in a minute. Amanda stopped. What did you say? I suddenly realized I'd brought up Jimmy. Ah, shit. If Jimmy's awake, I said quickly. The remark sounding thin in my own ears. I thought you were an excellent actress and liar, Shari. He was asleep a few minutes ago when I checked him. When I checked to see if he was sleepwalking.
I thought she was reacting to her calling her mom Mother Mary.
So did I.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Amanda stared at me a moment, and then she muttered, "Say hello for me." Sure. Jimmy was awake when I peeked in his door. He motioned for me to come in and sit on his bed.
Oh.
His computer screen was still on, and, as always, I found the faint green light hard on my eyes. Why don't you just turn it off? I asked, gesturing to the CRT because I knew what that was.
It really says CRT.
Yeah.
Wow.
He smiled faintly, his muscular
Oh,
toned
God.
arms folded
No,
across
stop,
his
Shari.
smooth chest,
Oh,
his eyes
oh.
staring off
Girl.
into space.
Jesus, girl. Motherfucker.
Ooh, yeah. He was in a different mood now, more contemplative. Ooh, he's in bed, yeah. I might, wait.
I might wake in the night inspired.
I don't know whose voice you're even going to do.
I might wake in the night inspired.
Jesus, that's terrifying sounding. Fuck.
The way you get around in your sleep, you wouldn't have to wake up.
I was dreaming about you before I bumped into you in the hall.
Oh, tell me about it. And no one else, please. Let's get past this. He had just opened the window above his bed, and a cool breeze touched us both. Ah! Later, I thought it might have been the breath of the Grim Reaper. Or possibly the breath of God saying, "Stop this. Stop. What you're doing.
This is cursed.
What you're doing is wrong. No. Bad. It was a warm night." Jimmy closed his eyes and spoke softly. Oh, good. A lot of this
Let's be
voice.
honest,
Oh my God,
if God
I can't.
whispered to them, he'd just be like, "Please don't."
We were in a strange place.
Oh my god.
I fucking did.
So good.
I'm making myself not look.
It was like a world inside a flower. What? I can't.
All right, Georgia O'Keeffe.
God.
That's not symbolism.
I know that sounds weird, but I don't know how else to describe it. Everything was glowing. We were in a wide open space like a field, and you were dressed exactly as you are now, in those slacks and that blouse.
What? Really? Slacks in a blouse?
I feel so gross reading this. You had
No one says slacks in a blouse. God. Oh.
You had a balloon in your hand that you were trying to blow up. No, you had blown it up partway.
What?
And you wanted me to blow it up the rest of the way.
What?
You tried to give it to me. It being the balloon.
Are you sure? Oh
You,
my God.
What is this book?
you had tied a string to it.
Oh my God, I have to read the rest of this fucking dream.
I'm crying. I have tears.
This is the craziest shit we've ever read.
This fucking
Seriously.
is surreal how insane this is.
Oh my God.
This is chapter
I'm
1.
not mentally prepared.
Holy shit.
But I didn't catch the string right or something, and it got away. We watched it float way up in the sky. Then you began to cry. Far away toward the front of the house, I heard Daniel start his car. He wasn't a good one to keep waiting because of his violent
Shard.
temperament, which we have already
Yeah.
seen.
So angry.
Yeah, get out,
Okay.
girl.
Yeah.
But suddenly, I didn't feel like going to Beth's party. I just wanted to sit and talk with my brother until he fell asleep.
No!
I pulled his sheet up over his chest.
No! Stop it!
The breeze through the open window was getting chilly now. Why was I crying? I asked. Because the balloon got away. What color was it? I don't know. Brown, I think. Ew, what?
It's a
Everything's
shit balloon.
brown to you. He's fucking colorblind.
Yeah.
What was so special about the balloon? He opened his eyes and smiled at me. For a moment, I thought he was going to ask me about Amanda again. I felt grateful when he didn't. I don't know.
God,
He
damn.
paused. Will you be out late? Not too late. Good. What's the matter? He thought a moment. Nothing. I'm just tired. He squeezed my hand. Have fun. I leaned over and kissed him on the forehead. Sweet dreams, brother.
No!
Sweet dreams, brother.
I have added nothing.
Stop all of it.
He closed his eyes, and it seemed to me he was trying to picture my balloon a little more clearly, so maybe he could answer my question about it a little better.
Picture my balloon, brother. Is it a brown balloon?
Do you like my balloon, brother?
Fucking fuck.
But all he said was, "Take care, sister."
Ew.
People. When you said goodbye to them for the last time, you'd expect it to be special. Never mind that there's never any way to know for sure you're never going to see them again. In that respect, I would have to say I'm thankful, at least, that my brother and I got to talk one last time before I left for the party. But when I got downstairs, Daniel was blowing his horn, and Mrs. Parrish was vacuuming the dining room. Do you want me to finish
Yeah.
that? I barely had a chance to poke my head in on her as I flew out the door. "We're going," I called. Mrs. Parrish leaned over as if she was in pain and turned off the vacuum.
Oh, no.
"Did you bring a sweater?" she asked, taking a breath. The drunker I get, the more voices I do. Nah, I've got my boyfriend to keep me warm. And the memories of my brother. She laughed at my nerve. "Take care, Shari." I will, I promised, but I lied. And those little white lies, they catch up with you eventually. Or maybe they just get away from you like a balloon in the wind.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's fucking for real.
Wow.
Please tell me
For
we're reading
sure.
more. This is the first time I've
Absolutely.
ever been so excited to read a book. God, like a balloon in the wind. God damn it. This is amazing.
Yeah, we're
For sure, Daniel
Pike.
killed her.
absolutely
Daniel murdered her.
reading- No, Daniel's too much of a. He's too violent. That's
He's
a red
yeah,
herring.
he's a red herring.
Ah.
Oh my god. I hope.
Holy shit! This is fucking insane.
Okay.
Wow.
Chapter 2 of Flowers in the Attic.
No, that's it. That's the end of the episode.
Colon, the reflowering.
Ew! Oh no, no, Chris. It's called Balloons in the Attic.
Balloons in the attic.
Balloons in the Attic, please don't sue us.
Oh my god.
All right.
This is.
Are we ready for chapter 2?
I have not been ready
Chapter
for
2?
any of this. Chapter 2. That was all chapter 1.
This might be a 2-chapter episode.
Well, so for real, I was like trying
Yeah,
to
when
plan.
do we stop?
I was trying to plan ahead. I was like, we might do the first like 5 chapters, and now I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, did you
Yeah,
count
we're
the
only
pages,
on
or did
page
you just
20
count the
out of
chapters?
I counted the
230.
pages.
Okay.
So
What page do we stop at?
well, it depends. These days, I'm just going off of time.
Okay.
So I feel like we'll
How
definitely
much
do.
time do we have left? I want to finish this book tonight. I'm gonna read ahead.
We're definitely doing this chapter, and then we'll see how much we have
Okay.
left.
Becca's going to be late for work tomorrow, and she works from
I'm
home.
gonna be up all night with a little flashlight in bed and reading this
We
fucking
usually
book.
don't like schedule a bunch of these recordings in a row, but like we're doing this again on Friday and then again on Tuesday, and I was like,
God.
I hope that's not too many, but now I'm like, I can't fucking wait to get through this fucking book. It's insane. It's crazy.
So awful.
Chapter 2 of
Jamie,
Balloons
you
in
lucked
the
out.
Attic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Some
this
of this other
is
shit has
gold.
been shit.
yeah. This
Yeah,
is-
no. If you had joined in on any other book we read, you would have been like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, this is honestly, this is the best one we've done.
Yes.
This is by far like the best one we've done.
I feel like Sweet Valley is second to this.
Agreed.
Yes.
100% agreed.
Oh my
All
god.
about the SVU.
Streets
The
ahead.
Sweet Valley universe.
Streets ahead, balloons
Bong
ahead.
bong.
Chapter 2 of Balloons in the Attic.
Not gonna get old.
All right. Hold it together, Z. Come
Oh,
on.
God, you can do it. I believe in you.
Oh Jesus.
I let Amanda sit in the front seat with Daniel. His Audi didn't have much of a back seat, and since I'm a lot shorter and thinner than Amanda, I figured it was only fair. I'd always been kind of sensitive about my height. I won't tell you exactly how tall I was, because I'm a very non-imaginative author unless it's about incest. Suffice it to say that I was only an inch taller than Little Joe, and that she hadn't gotten her nickname by accident.
Don't you
A lot
shit
of
on
people
Joe.
thought
Don't
Joe
you
and
shit
I
on my
were
girl
sisters.
Joe.
Not our girl Joe.
Amanda perked up once we got on the road, or at least she began to do more than nod her head and smile faintly. Amanda was awfully shy. Maybe it was the sugar in the cake that got her talking a bit.
What?
Real
The cake
drunk
I
off
forced
that
her
sugar.
to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Eat this cake.
Here's the cake, Amanda.
For a girl who didn't like dessert, she had gone to enough trouble to sneak back into the kitchen and grab another piece of the chocolate monster.
Ew.
As Daniel
Jesus
raced
Christ.
towards
Chasing
Joe's
that
house at
chocolate
warp
dragon.
8. Oh shit! The narrator just made a nerd reference. As Daniel raced toward Joe's house at warp 8, Amanda fought to balance the cake between a napkin and her mouth. Eating in the car,
Star Trek.
Daniel allowed that?
Warp 8? I've never heard that.
She must have known
Chris.
how paranoid. It's Star Trek.
How? No, I know
I
it's
mean,
Star
I
Trek,
know
but
like
how
warp
fast is warp
speed,
8?
but like warp 8, I've never heard a warp number before.
What's
Warp
typical
9
warp?
was like warp 9.
Borrow
was like the
again,
highest
borrow
you
again.
could
I'm
go.
sorry. Borrow forever.
I will buy this book. I'll buy a
Pretty sure
physical
warp
copy.
9 was like the fastest you could go.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
warp 9. They broke that barrier in one of the movies, but 10
I think they
past
did in
warp 10
Voyager,
gets
and it
yeah.
turned a guy into a fish monster.
yeah, past 10 gets wacky.
Yeah. So
I would say that I want to hear more about this, but this book is so crazy that I'm gonna just
Yeah.
plow right through the warp talk.
So, as Daniel raced toward Joe's house at Warp 8, Amanda fought to balance the cake between a napkin and her mouth. She must have known how paranoid Daniel was about getting crumbs on his upholstery.
Wait, she still had the cake?
Yes, she grabbed it and then got into the car.
Amanda, just eat that cake.
Thanks for inviting me to the party, Amanda said between... Oh, I'll reread that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me to the party, Amanda said between bitefuls. I've been cooped up in the house all day, painting.
What?
I'm glad you're coming, I replied. In reality, I had not invited Amanda. She had invited herself through her mother.
Why
Bitch.
would
should
her
be my
mother
mother.
have had an invitation?
Oh, I don't know.
Why would her mother be in charge of inviting?
You're an artist? Daniel asked. What were you painting?
I love how everyone has 500 character traits. We never stop learning about them.
Amanda hesitated. Our bathroom?
No.
Really? Daniel said. Amanda could have told him she'd be cleaning toilets. He was amazed. He had obviously never painted a wall in his life. His parents were almost as well off as my own, as were the parents of most of the kids we went to school with.
I mean, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt this next sentence because it's amazing. But
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I never painted walls when I was a teenager. I didn't paint a wall
No,
until we
me
bought
neither.
this house when I was like 31.
I mean,
It's just not a thing you do.
I mean, I
when
guess
you're
Yeah.
a child.
I guess none of us were truly as poor as Amanda.
Apparently not. Based on this
Based
next
on the next sentence.
Amanda was our token pauper.
I can say without a doubt, I don't think I thought of any child I grew up with as a pauper.
But you
Yeah.
grew up in Annapolis. There must have been so many paupers.
Oh shit!
Pauper.
I was the pauper.
I grew up in Dundalk. We were all the paupers.
I was the pauper.
You were
of
the
Annapolis.
pauper.
I was the pauper.
You definitely painted walls before I ever did.
I definitely did. I painted a lot of walls. Shit! I was the pauper. Okay, go on.
I sometimes kidded her about it.
I bet
And
you
she
love
loved
that.
it. Cling.
No, stop making the same joke as me.
What color? I asked. White, Amanda said. White's so boring, I said. Why white? 'Cause you are, bitch. It's all the same to me,
I'm
Amanda
also
said.
colorblind.
You
Wait,
must
what?
be colorblind, I said. You're as bad as Jimmy. He keeps telling me I have brown eyes. What color are your eyes? Amanda asked. Look at them, I said, slightly exasperated. Can't you tell? Amanda glanced over her shoulder. It's too dark. Are they green, you haughty bitch? Good girl, I said.
Jesus.
We'll let you live.
Oh fuck.
Daniel took a corner at the same speed he was taking the straightaways.
And we
Head
flipped.
down.
Yeah.
Slow down. It's only a party we're going to. I just don't want to be late, he said. Joe had better be ready. She'll be ready, I said. Joe's always ready. Joe wasn't ready.
Wait, that's a
Like a
Arrested
Joe
Development.
wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Joe wasn't ready.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. That's a Ron Howard.
Joe
narration.
wasn't ready.
Joe
I told Daniel and Amanda to wait while I ran in to get her. Joe's mother answered the door. I didn't mention this earlier, but Joe's mother and Amanda's mother were sisters, which meant, of course, that Joe and Amanda were cousins.
Wait, hold
I have to
on.
speak this
I need
way
to wrap
because
my head
Shari-
around this.
Yeah.
So old gray lady.
Old gray lady.
And Joe's
Ain't what
mother
she
are
used to be.
sisters. The old gray mare and Amanda's mother are sisters. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Joe and Amanda are cousins. The reason I didn't mention it before was because Joe and Amanda were so different, I forgot they were related. Their mothers were even less compatible. The only thing they had in common is that they were both divorcees.
How tawdry.
Scandalous.
Scandalous.
Jinx.
Mrs. Parrish would have given me her right arm had I needed it because my mother pays her salary. But Mrs. Fulton wouldn't have twisted her left wrist to let me see her watch had I asked the time.
What?
What?
I don't know, but you said that
Wait,
in the
you
right
didn't even
voice.
ad-lib that?
No.
Yeah, no.
The lady wasn't hostile towards me, just busy.
Busy.
That was
In italics.
That was her excuse for everything. She had so much to do. She was head nurse at a poor person's clinic. Hospital with millions of beds, and Joe had grown up practically an orphan.
That was Joe's excuse for being so weird
Wait, I'm confused.
about Joe's being weird.
So she was practically an orphan because her mother worked at a hospital, and her mother's like a haughty rich bitch because she works at a hospital?
Yeah.
Like, I know
yeah.
you make a
I don't
shitload
even
of money,
know. I don't
but
get it.
you typically are kind of like a humble, down-to-earth person.
Ooh, not in California.
Not like, I can't twist my wrist to give you the time.
I've spent so much time in
so
these
busy.
hospitals. I don't want to spend any time with you, dear girl.
The French call it
That's why I've been reading the
l'hôpital.
character as the mom from Prodigal Son, that new show, because it's exactly how I picture her.
But Mrs. Fulton
Fulton.
was hostile toward her
Also,
sister.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Who is this book for?
Us.
horny old men.
Chris,
Did not tell you.
Chris, it's for us. This book was written for this moment in time. Holy shit.
This book was written when me and Bekah were 3.
Yeah.
At this exact moment.
All right, but Mrs. Fulton was hostile toward her sister. She loathed Mrs. Parrish. Joe said it was because her mother blamed Mrs. Parrish for the collapse of her marriage. Years ago, Mrs. Parrish was supposed to have had an affair with Mr. Fulton.
Ooh, spicy.
When Joe told me the story, I didn't believe a word of it. But that was one of the things with people older than your parents. It was impossible to imagine that they ever had sex.
Ew. Wouldn't they be the same age as your parents? It's your friend's parents.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what this bitch is talking about. This is Mrs. Fulton. Oh, Char. Joe's in her room, Mrs. Fulton said when she saw who it was, quickly pushing open the screen door, poor, before turning back to the kitchen.
Having a screen door means you're poor?
I don't know.
Hold
Okay.
on. Jonathan, do Mrs. Fulton as Eartha Kitt.
Because you know Jonathan does a flawless Eartha Kitt.
Is it this? Oh, Char. I'm not doing
Not too far off,
Joe's
but-
in her room.
Joe's in her room. I can't. Oof.
Jesus Christ.
The love of a mother's child.
Mrs. Fulton said when she saw who it was, quickly pushing open the screen door before turning back to the kitchen, a cup of coffee in her hand, a cigarette in her mouth. It always cracked me up to see someone in a starched white medical uniform with a cigarette in her mouth.
Honestly, I feel like Mrs.
Hypocritical
Fulton
bitch.
is Chris's mom, and I love Chris's mom. She sounds like a badass bitch, so I'm all about Mrs. Fulton.
Chris, what's your mom sound like?
You know what, Christopher? You don't have to live here.
I mean, I would say it's dark, but it's not.
It's an actual quote
Thanks.
from when I was
6.
17.
So about 20 years.
Yeah. Thanks, I said, stepping into the house over a pile of newspapers and magazines because they were hoarders.
What?
You just have to always imagine she has a cigarette in her hand.
All right. Okay, I can do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Mrs. Fulton had so much to do. How could she possibly have the time to clean up? Yet it was a beautiful house, a big house.
You
Mrs.
sound like Riff
Fulton
Raff right now.
didn't have to kill herself going to work every day. Her husband had left her with enough bucks to give her the leisure to afford all of the afternoon soap operas. It was Joe's opinion that her mother was obsessed with helping people because she felt guilty about not really liking them.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
Wow! Off to work? I asked.
It might be my mom.
Well, I don't even remember what voice I was doing.
I don't know.
I am at work. I'm doing like a high-pitched riff
Now
raff.
you're, yeah.
Yeah. the lady replied, throwing her
The
coffee
lady.
into the kitchen sink and stubbing her cigarette out on top of the open beer can.
Jesus.
Ugh.
This is my lunch break. She picked up her
She's
car
like a
keys.
really rich blue collar lady.
Yeah. It's confusing.
It's confusing.
It's confusing. Tell Joe
my
I
mom.
don't want to bring her a Ouija board to Beth's party. I don't think it's going to be that kind of party, Mrs. Fulton. She stopped at the door, digging in her bag for her lipstick. When she wasn't in a hurry, she could be a...
Jeez, Shar's trying to fuck everyone.
When she wasn't in a hurry, she could be attractive. Is she negging this mom?
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck is
I don't
this?
know. I'm not ready to read more.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Chris, tell your mother I said hi.
Best book ever.
Immediately, the first sentence of this next page.
She had a great Roman nose. Very authoritative.
What does that mean? What the fuck?
Absolutely no idea.
A great Roman
the
nose?
chick from Farscape.
Chris,
What
no
is
one has watched
Chris-
Farscape but you.
What does that mean?
I've only seen the first 2 seasons.
I couldn't imagine Mrs. Fulton, I couldn't imagine Mr. Fulton having left her years ago for a roll in the hay with Mrs. Parrish. Then again, I couldn't remember when Mrs. Fulton had not been in a hurry, nor had I ever seen Mrs. Parrish anything but patient. I often wondered what Mr. Fulton must have been like. Joe wouldn't talk about him.
Is he dead or gone? Like, what?
Who fucking knows?
Oh my god.
How do I look? She asked, touching her lips. Like a nurse, I said.
Oh, damn!
She flashed a dangerous smile. More and more I'm convinced this is Mary Zaleski. Because I am afraid of that woman.
Yeah, as we should all be.
I revere her.
Every time Chris's mom ever walks into the background of a Zoom call that we're doing, we're always just like, hi Chris's mom.
Hi, Mom.
Like, hi.
And I'm wearing headphones, and they know this.
Yeah.
And they know she can't hear them.
Yeah, but
But I want her to know I said hi.
she's scary and impressive.
Yes.
And
That's reverence.
Yeah, she's
that is reverence.
Reverence, yeah.
You're worse
For the
than
listeners'
Joe.
benefit, she has a GED, but she also has a doctorate.
She's fucking amazing. She's
Damn.
Dr. Nurse. You're worse than Joe. Who's that out in the car? Dan. And Amanda, yeah. Mrs. Fulton brightened, which was the equivalent of smog forming a rainbow.
Jesus.
Amanda was the one person Mrs. Fulton felt, besides those dying in hospital beds, was worthy of her time. She threw her lipstick back in her bag.
Oh boy.
I'm going to say hi to her.
Oh
Bye.
no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Goodbye, Mrs. Fulton. And you take special care of yourself because we love you so much. Shove it, Shar.
Yes, girl. Yes. Yes. I love the mom.
Definitely Chris's mom.
Yes, this is Mary.
Like, definitely Chris's
This is
mom.
Mary.
Holy shit.
I found Jo in her room carefully combing her hair. She had only recently begun to worry about her appearance.
Oh,
What, isn't she 18?
Oh
Like,
no.
I know a man wrote this, but okay. The way most girls did at age 9. Okay, there we go. She'd fallen in love. His name was Jeff Nichols. And he was Big Beth's boyfriend.
And he talks like this.
Okay.
Hello, Joe.
I just think he's
He will.
Jeff Nichols.
Jeff Nichols.
Jeff Nichols.
I knew,
Pleased to meet you.
I knew it was going to be a hell of a party. Oh my god, I'm so excited about
The
what I'm
party?
about
Like
to
the
read.
rest
No,
of
what
the
I'm
book?
about to read.
Oh, God.
It is taking a while to get through this. I love it so much. Joe.
Joe is best girl.
Yes, she is. Joe was fascinated with the occult.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
She was into the usual New Age fads such as astrology and crystals.
Yes.
Yet she leaned toward the darker edge of the esoteric circle. Nothing excited her more than a method to tap into a supernormal power. Her latest craze was a magnetic pendulum that she said could be used to broadcast or send substances into a person's body from any distance.
Joe.
When I was sick with a cold, the week before Beth's party, she had called and told me she had broadcast vitamin C into my throat. It was ethereal vitamin C, of course. But she said it had worked as well as the real thing. I can't say I felt a thing.
I'm drawing fan art of Joe right now.
Oh my God, I love Joe.
I'm starting
I
an
love this book
Instagram
so much.
account of Joe fan art.
All right. So, like, first thing first,
Oh,
why
shit.
is Christopher Pike not as popular as R.L. Stein?
Oh my God!
This is
He
so...
is 1,000 times better than
It's
R.L.
so
Stein.
much better.
This is so
Why
much better.
is this shit out of print?
God
That's
damn
what I
it.
want to know.
Oh my God, I don't know. See, this is like I didn't know it was gonna be good, but I was deterred. Like there was a half hour before we recorded when I could not find this book when this website was down, and I was like, "Do we just do another R.L. Stein?" I was visibly angry. I was like,
You were
"No."
very upset.
Quick aside, like, why did you pick this book specifically out of all of his?
Well, Christine,
Was it-
who was a previous guest,
Yes.
had recommended Christopher Pike, and
And I
yeah, I don't know
vaguely
how you
remembered Christopher
found
Pike.
this book specifically, but you had looked up a couple of them, and John read some descriptions to me, and just whatever the description of this book was, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like dead girl, whatever.
Yeah.
High school dead girl sounded really fun.
I mean, like, it's a fluke. I literally started looking up Christopher Pike books to read from this era because the only ones I could find that were on Kindle were new, and I'm like, not interested. And
yeah, we don't want someone at the height of their art.
no,
I don't want to read about
No.
like a TikTok star dying.
I want to read tawdry teenage romance horror novels from like the late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s. That's what I want to
Yeah,
read. And I was reading. Yeah, I was just like looking up what he did during this time, and Remember Me kept coming up. But okay, by the way, this is like a quadrilogy.
Oh my
does
God.
that mean?
And
There's
it starts
sequels
with
to
this
this book.
There's sequels to Remember
This is the
Me?
first one?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
we
thank
need
Satan.
to read all of them
100%.
because
yeah.
I love
Does
it.
does she come back at the end?
I don't know.
Or does she remain a ghost?
I have no clue. All I know is that this is the first in like, I think 3 or 4 books.
Jesus,
Well, now I have to listen to the podcast because I need to know how this fucking thing ends.
that's how we get you.
That's how we get you.
This is amazing.
I'm just so glad we've had this much fun. She hasn't even been murdered yet.
I know.
It's crazy.
We're like a million pages away from her.
This
being
might be
murdered.
the first 5-parter. I don't even know.
Yeah. All right. So continuing on with Remember Me by Christopher Pike.
Saint among men.
Yeah. Does not understand women.
It's fine. Most men don't.
That's fine. This is more entertaining.
Did she believe in all that stuff? I don't know. When I was alive, I never gave it much thought. And now that I'm dead, I consider myself too close to the subject to voice an objective opinion.
Oh my god.
I need to know what everyone's signs are.
But Joe was no one's fool. That I can say. Dan's got the car running, I said as I stepped into her room, in a dramatic way. Friends at school who knew of Joe's interest in the supernatural were often disappointed when they visited her house and discovered that her bedroom was perfectly normal. In fact, it was usually the cleanest place in the house. The only things in her room that suggested her hobby were a box of incense and an incense holder on top of her chest of drawers.
So
Her appearance
Joe's
was also
like one of the
fairly
girls from The
normal.
Craft.
Although we resembled each other, her hair was dark enough. You scrolled while I was mid-word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Although we resembled each other, her hair was dark enough that I made fun of her every time she described herself as a blonde.
Because I'm a
We had the
raging
same petite build,
bitch.
the same kind of mouths that laughed at the same
What?
kind of jokes.
What?
It's getting poetic.
God.
But whereas I did have striking green eyes, hers were at best hazel.
At best,
I'm pretty
Again,
sure.
who are these
best.
books for? Because according to the descriptions in these books, I am a literal troll person living under a bridge.
I mean,
My
yeah.
eyes were never at
Like,
best
according
hazel.
to this book, we are all goblins.
Right?
I embrace my
fucking
goblin
Christ.
heritage.
It's fucking true, man.
But I got
God.
solid West Virginia stock in me, and even though I buzzed
Me
my
too.
head, literally the back of my head's growing faster than everywhere else.
I literally
is
have people
this-
in my heritage that are like nicknamed like Muddy River Jenkins or whatever.
I've joked about my hair naturally growing into a mullet, and now that I've buzzed it again, like it's just truth now. Like the back of my head
It's
is
just who you are.
almost an inch long, and I buzzed everything.
Is this how white people describe each other when they're teenagers? Like, this is some weird shit.
I don't think we described each other at all. When we
Yeah,
were
I was just gonna say
teenagers.
I don't think I
I
ever
feel
described
like
anybody.
see, I guess this is a thing, and this is also what happened in the Sweet Valley
Yes,
books, where they
I was just gonna say that.
wouldn't stop jizzing over their own green eyes. Is that most white people just have brown eyes,
Yeah,
and
most-
it's boring.
Well, okay,
and
yeah.
I can attest to that. I'm a white girl with brown eyes. I'm like, that's fucking boring. I'd rather have green eyes or blue eyes,
Yeah.
but I don't. A lot of white people, I don't know.
I feel
Just
like
a lot of people don't. It's
I feel like white people are obsessed with having green eyes, and it keeps making me think of Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because they're just like Chinese with
wouldn't that-
green eyes.
wouldn't that be so much more interesting if my eyes were green?
Yeah.
At best, hazel. Like,
Not
Who's
to
a
toot
shit?
my own ocular horn, but when I was a little kid, I had striking green eyes. And
right.
then they were hazel, and now they're gray.
Maybe you
aren't they
died.
blue?
No, everyone
not
thinks they're
gray.
blue, but if you really look at them up close, they're
I haven't
gray.
seen you in person in a long time, which is surprising.
Yeah, I haven't looked in your actual eyes in a long time, and that makes
Your
me sad.
actual eyes.
Yeah, no, but it's crazy that people think they're blue because it's just like no, they were like super green, then they were hazel
wait,
with bits
yeah.
of brown in them, and they're just gray now.
Whenever I do you as a cartoon, whenever I
Hot.
You know, keep that to
No, go
yourself.
back the previous way.
Yeah,
Say it the previous
whenever
way.
I- whenever
if you're
I
not
do-
sharing these cartoons with me, keep them to yourself.
whenever I do Chris as a cartoon, whenever I would draw you and Mark,
So I can respond as gross.
I have it set, and I always go back and I match the same color because I want consistency in my stupid comics. But yeah,
Say it slower.
I want consistency. Mark has brown eyes, and I remember now you have green. I always drew you with green eyes because I asked you what color your eyes were, and you said green. Not because I noticed, because I asked you.
I'm not gay.
No, I don't even care about
Also,
being
it
gay.
depends
I'm
on
just
the
not
weather.
observant.
It's true. You
Yeah.
are not observant at all.
I would rather
But
people think of me
Now
as gay
I'm like,
than
I
observant.
thought Chris's eyes were blue. I guess it could be wrong.
Some days they do seem way more blue, but most of the time they're gray. Fun fact for the listener in this audio format.
Moving on.
All right, so
Hazel at best.
Hazel.
but whereas
Hazel at best.
I did have striking green eyes, hers were at best hazel. She did have great taste in clothes, however. I was forever borrowing outfits from her. The yellow blouse and green pants to match my eyes that are green. I wore
Yellow
to Beth's
blouse
party.
and green pants.
Actually belonged to Joe.
I dress as a daffodil.
I was just gonna say, like,
Those were my high school colors, and they're not flattering.
So is Joe the Claudia of this book?
I guess so.
Babysitter's
I don't know
Club
what voice
callback
to do. I don't know what voice to do for her.
for Joe.
Think goth
She's
and
into
awesome.
the occult and fashion also.
I think she's Riff Raff.
Well,
I think we
mean,
do the Claudia
She
voice.
sounds like our actual Joe.
Actually, she does sound like our actual Joe. Which I don't want to do. She doesn't
yeah,
have like
I
a
don't.
voice.
I don't know a voice for her.
Just do
either.
Riff Raff.
Yeah. Tell him I'm going to be a minute. Joe said, finishing her hair and hurrying to the closet. It'll take me more than... Oh, hold on. Wrong voice. It'll take me more than a minute to walk down to the car, I said, sitting on her rock-hard bed. Why was that necessary to clarify?
We'll find
Joe
out.
also practiced yoga and would never stand for a mattress that would let her spine sag.
Ew,
What?
Spine sag.
What?
Oh no.
Love those words together.
Downward dog was her life.
You look fine. Let's just go. I don't think Dan's in the best of moods.
And you know how he gets.
BT.
That doesn't even sound like an ad lib.
It keeps making me think of that Fear Street book we read where the fucking psychotic boyfriend was like super violent, and we did him as Batman, but we've done this guy's voice as California, but he seems super violent. I don't know. I'm just saying. We might have found our
Joe
Batman.
glanced up from digging in her closet and grinned.
No.
It's grinned. The word's grinned.
What?
Does spam feel uncomfortable around you now that you have that you two have engaged in bestial activities together?
What?
Okay,
Joe?
I'm just gonna read that sentence again.
Please.
Obviously she calls
the
Dan
power
spam.
word.
All right. Does spam feel uncomfortable around you now that you two have engaged in bestial activities together?
All right, you were correct in doing it again.
I didn't say we had sex. Joe always called Dan spam.
We got it.
I had long ago ceased trying to free her of the habit. It is interesting that I was one of the few people Joe never gave a nickname to, and I was her best friend.
Christ.
So wait, she's jealous of the name Spam?
Guarantee Joe has a nickname for her. She'll find out about it after she's dead.
Yeah.
Yes, you did, Joe said, finding what she was looking for, which appeared to be a lump of metal. You said he undressed you. You undressed him. And then the two of you let things take their natural course.
I love this so much. I love it so much.
Stop! I pleaded. We have to drive to the party in the same car in a few minutes, for Christ's sake. I paused. What's that? Another magnet? Yes. Well, how the fuck do magnets work? Oh my god. What happened to the last one? I asked as I picked up a small pile of typed papers lying on her bed. I still have it, but this one's stronger.
What?
It's used for a different purpose.
Because she's all into, crystals and shit.
But
Magnets.
who gives a fuck about magnets? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Magnets, how do they work?
She squeezed it into the pocket of her black pants, like any good witch. Joe loved to wear black. We can talk to the universe with this one. We'll play with it at the party. She gestured to the papers in my hand. You know what that
All right,
is?
Jamie's right. This is Eartha Kitt.
Also, like, Jamie's doing a pop sucking voice at some fucking point.
Yes.
He's been fucking killing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
What? A short story by Peter Nichols, Jeff's brother. A couple of years back, when I was a sophomore and he was a junior, I had shared a biology class with Peter. He was great. He could crack me up like no one else could. He would tell me all these totally ridiculous stories about all the weird things that kept happening to him. For example, once he told me how he picked up an old man with a white beard and hitchhiking, and how the old guy started telling Peter his whole past history, beginning with when Peter was in second grade, right up until Peter helped the Hazard High baseball team win the city championship.
Go, traffic
What?
cones.
Peter had an amazing arm.
I just got it.
Oh.
I've been thinking of Dukes of Hazzard the whole time, not just
Yeah.
a road hazard.
I was thinking road hazard.
Well, there is an actual Hazard County in Georgia where the Dukes of Hazzard takes
God.
place, but this had like
This
palm
is
fronds and
California,
shit.
though, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter had an amazing arm. His coaches said he had pro-potential.
Potential.
He also... Pro-potential. He's a Pokemon. He also had an incredible way with words. I could picture the old man as his story perfectly. Before the old man got out of Peter's car, he also told Peter what his future would be.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going
I don't
This
really
is a side
know.
story I don't care about.
This is such a weird
Also-
tangent.
Yeah.
Who's Peter?
Yeah. Also, that's what I was going to say is like, wait, who's Peter and what? Okay, sorry. Jamie, go on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I remember how Peter smiled and shook his head when I asked what the guy had said. I must emphasize that Peter was not, at least to the best of my knowledge, interested in the occult.
Oh my god.
I don't know why he told me that story.
Oh my god.
Usually his stories were about crooked cops and crazy people he constantly ran into while simply walking down
Why would he have
the block.
stories like that?
Why?
He is
Who
a
is
kid in high
Peter?
school.
What is going on?
Why would this kid in high school have stories about crooked cops?
When does this bitch die?
Why is this book?
Holy shit. Wait. What
the fuck? What the fuck?
Peter died not long after that. Some kind of car accident. I missed him terribly. He had been the best part of my day, and I always felt I'd known him all my life.
Did you?
What the fuck? I instinctively dropped the papers when Joe said his name. Oh God, I whispered. Peter, how did you get this? Jeff gave it to me, Joe said, picking up the sheets and sorting them into a neat stack. He gave me a whole bunch of Peter's stories. He wanted to see if I could help get some of them published. Peter wasn't a writer. He was always playing basketball. Basketball.
Should have went with your first instinct there, bud.
He was always,
So good.
he was always playing basketball. When did he have time to write? He never showed me any of his stuff, and by stuff I mean stuff he wrote. He definitely showed me his peanuts. He never showed anybody. Jeff only found the stories a couple of months ago at the back of Peter's closet. You should read this one. I don't know why the news disturbed me so. Maybe because Peter's dead, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And was a character that no one knew about up to this point?
This is like a tangent on a tangent. I don't know.
It's a hat on a hat.
I brushed off Joe's attempts to hand the story to me. Why are you reading them?
Why?
Are you trying to get on Jeff's good side? Joe didn't flinch at my remark. It took a lot for her to show she was hurt. I'm doing this because I want to, she said in a normal tone of voice. He was a pretty good writer, and he had great ideas, but he seldom finished anything. That's one of the things Jeff asked if I could do for him. Put some endings on Peter's stuff. I don't care about Jeff and Peter. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I continued to feel uneasy about the whole thing, but I couldn't pinpoint the reason why. Could it have been that the mention of his name had triggered a wave of painful memories? I asked myself. Joe,
Or the fact that none of this makes sense
Joe wrote
at all.
Joe wrote for the school paper and was acknowledged to be Hazard High's sole master of grammar. Master of grammar!
Dun, 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 dun.
She tried to hand me his story again. You should read it, she said. I finally took it and glanced at the title. Anne's Answer. What is it? I asked reluctantly.
What is happening?
It's about a girl our age who buys a VCR and then discovers it can tape tomorrow's TV programs today. She starts out taping the local news, spotting all the tragedies that
And the rest of the book
are
just focuses
about
on
to
that.
happen, and then she goes out to prevent them. All right. Take us home. I think this is going to
Are
be
you
it.
sure? I do not
I
want to
don't-
ever stop reading
Yeah.
this book. Oh my god. How does it end? He never finished it. But what was the last thing that happened to this girl? So my middle name was Anne, I told
Oh
myself.
my god.
He hadn't written the story about me, yet the icy breeze that had blown through my brother's window earlier that night felt as if it had taken a detour into Joe's bedroom. Okay. And her windows were all closed. A cold sweat broke out onto my forehead. Omen might be the word for what Joe said next, and for the balloon Jimmy watched float away. I suppose it was all a
Brown
question
balloon.
of interpretation.
Oh my god. That's the end.
A part of me must have seen the black axe rising slowly into the air above my head.
What?
Maybe
What?
Peter had seen the same axe. We're on an axe now. We've moved from balloon. We're now onto an axe. Everyone catch up. But of course he'd seen it far more clearly than I.
Oh, fuck.
She taped a program of a news story that was about herself, Joe said. I swallowed. Had she died? The tape was jammed in the machine. She didn't get to see the entire piece, only the beginning where her name was mentioned and her picture was shown. Then Peter stopped. He stopped in mid-sentence, but it read, "It's fun."
What?
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 I handed the papers back to Joe. I'll wait until you write the ending.
Ba, 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 ba. Holy
What?
shit.
This story that
But-
Peter wrote
but
is way more
read it-
interesting
oh, wait,
than the story
I'm-
that we're reading.
But read it. It's fun. I'm sorry. I said, but it read. It's fun.
But read
It's
it,
because I'm drunk and confused.
No, okay, no.
It-
This doesn't make sense. Holy shit.
Oh man, below grade
This
levelers,
book is
we are
amazing.
in for
This is
a hell of a
story
journey.
in a story.
Fucking crazy. Holy
We
shit.
barely made it through 2 chapters of this.
Yeah.
Not because it was bad, but because it was good.
so good.
Wow,
While
wow.
Also being bad.
Wow. I am so excited. Holy shit.
Why didn't we read this sooner?
I don't even know. I don't want to say who our next guests are, just in case any scheduling things happen. But if it stays the way it is, our next guests are amazing, and we're gonna
And if
have.
not, our next guests fucking suck.
And that is
Only
for you,
time
the
will
listener,
tell.
to decide.
But tune in next time. Jamie, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on this. How did you like your first dip into this bullshit with us?
This is amazing. It's I never read any of these books growing up, so like to get a glimpse into what a certain population had to suffer through is amazing. This is true art.
True art. High art.
in its highest
Yeah,
form.
absolutely.
So,
High art.
Jamie,
Not only
growing
did
up, did
someone
you ever
write this-
read Goosebumps or anything like that?
Yeah, what did you read growing up?
No, I read a lot of comics.
Okay.
Mostly comics, and I listened to a lot of radio. Like I had a Walkman, and so I would listen to like NPR late at night. But at that point, WMU had like a comedy hour on late at night, and it was really terrible. It was called like Corn Between My Teeth, and they would play like old like Richard Pryor sketches and shit like that.
Sounds like you're making it
God.
up.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so like I didn't really read, and if I wasn't listening to stuff, I was drawing late at night.
Yeah.
So like, I'm illiterate, is what I'm trying to say.
And this is how we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Okay, 2 things. First, would you want to come back on our show?
Oh hell yeah,
Okay, good.
hell yeah.
Because you were awesome. This was super fun. We loved you, and I'm sure people listening to this are gonna love you. Number 2, what do you want people to know? What are your plugs? What do you want people to read and shit?
So I've got a book out in stores right now. It's called School for Extraterrestrial Girls.
Nice.
Written by Jeremy Whitley. So if you do a Google search on my name or his name, that'll show up. And that's pretty much it. Like I'm everywhere. So like just look up my name and you'll find my dumb shit.
All right.
And just reiterate your name for the listener.
All right. Jamie Noguchi, Noguchi.
And it'll be. I'll put it on the description
Yeah.
so people can.
We'll have links.
Yeah. They can look you up.
Yeah. But yeah, check out the book. I think we have the first chapter up for free at the Paper Cuts website. So you could check that out if you're into like YA graphic novel type stuff.
Nice.
It has aliens, and I drew a lot of like tokusatsu stuff in the background. So there's like Kamen Rider references and Godzilla and Rodan and Mothra and stuff.
That's awesome.
I knew it as Masked Rider, which was a horrible show.
Yeah.
It's such a bad show.
It was not a good representation.
Yeah, I should say that, like I know Jamie through our local scene, Be More Into Comics.
Oh yeah,
which is basically taking a hiatus because of pandemic stuff, but we kind of we connected through local doing comics and shit together, and and it's exciting because the next couple guests I have lined up for this show are in that same vein. I'll Be More Into Comics alumni.
Yay, comic nerds!
Yeah. I didn't do it on purpose, but I was like, ooh, everyone's got this through line of like doing good comics and shit. So that's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This was super fun. We'll definitely do this again. Yeah. Anyone listening, you can find all of our shit, cactusrodeo.com. Listen to our other shows, The Sketchy Show, CD Reads, Movie Club. Just, subscribe to all of our podcasts. They're on, I think, basically everything at this point. Stitcher, Apple, Spotify.
So, do you have your own network?
I do. Well, yeah, I do because I host it all. So it's technically called the Cactus Radio Podcast Network.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
And we have a couple of shows and they're fun. And yeah, you can check my shit out, cactusrodeo.com. You can check out our other
CD Reads.
CD Reads, which is Bekah's show.
We talk about romance novels.
Yes.
We don't read like we read on this show, but
yeah.
me and Kelly read it,
but
internalize it, and then tell you about it.
Honestly, I've said this a million times. It is one of my favorite things. It's you and Kelly. You guys read romance novels. You talk about it in a very positive, pro, feminist perspective.
We try.
Well, but it
depends on the book.
No, I mean, well, yeah. The Bigfoot episode is rough.
No one should listen to
Don't
that.
listen to it's rough. It's a rough one to get through.
Oh, man.
That's the one that's written by a dude, right?
What did you say, Chris?
That's the one that's written by a dude, right?
Most of them.
Well, so the Bigfoot one was... No, okay, so... The Bigfoot one was one of the hardest things I've ever had to read and record. One of the books we read was supposedly written by a woman, and I still don't understand how that's possible.
I don't believe it. I honestly don't believe it.
And the other thing we've read was written by Chuck Tingle, which was far more palatable, which is fucking saying something.
Yes.
So that's where that is.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, our more recent episodes than that are less disturbing. So give it a shot.
And check out popsockettheater.com. Season 1 has been done, and you can watch the whole thing online for free. And we're gradually working on season 2.
Hooray!
We're always going to talk about that.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
And definitely check out The Sketchy Show, because that's me and Jonathan and another guy named John Walker, who's been on this show, and he is the other third guy on the Sketchy Show now. Pretty much,
basically.
Like we're the Sketchy Boys.
Nice.
and
Sketchy Boys.
It's just us being real freaking stupid.
It's us getting very drunk and doing improv comedy, and then it's edited into something that's listenable. and honestly, I'm proud of most of it, so I would say listen.
I mean, every random person I've ambushed and forced them to listen to it, they've enjoyed it.
That's true, yeah.
And I don't know if it's out of fear of me,
I think
or if it's actually
you.
good.
You're so sweet.
No one would fear you. You're a teddy bear.
Yeah.
All right.
My beard was much longer then, so
thank you so much for listening. Tune in next time for chapter 3.
I can't wait.
of Remember
This is so
Me
good.
by Christopher Pike. This has been crazy. I'm so excited. We get to read more of this in a couple of days.
Still Team Joe. Team Joe, man.
Yes, Team
I'm
Joe.
excited because it's 4 fucking books, and we're only on chapter 2 of the first one. And I think we should do a fucking marathon.
It's a whole year of content. A whole year of content.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will. That'll be crazy. This is.
We got to do a zine. We got to put together like a
A zine?
That would be great.
Are those still things?
Oh, we're gonna make it a thing. We're gonna. Christopher Pike's gonna wake up one day and be like, "Wait, what? Why am I?"
No. He'll be like, "My people need me," and then he'll listen to it and be like, "Oh no, no." I'm pretty sure I still have lawyers, right? Because R.L. Stine never shut us down, and we've read so much.
Well, we're not very popular.
We're not popular, and it's been years. I don't know. Well, one day maybe. We can hope. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We love you. Bye.
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 Below Grade Level is a Cactus Radio production. You can contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com. Subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, and follow Cactus Rodeo on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more entertainment and updates.